All right, 6:02 in the Rose City. Time for Dirt and Sprague on Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. Yes, good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody.
What is happening?
How you doing out there?
Doing fantastic. Because I'm going to do a little on-air editing. I don't think we're going to get Josh Pate on the show today. So I look up behind you, your right shoulder. He's on the desk of Get Up right now. We're like, hey, we didn't hear from him. I wonder if he's going to be on the show today. He's currently live in New York on the set of Get Up. I don't think that's going to happen in the next hour and 40 minutes. You never know, though. We do have his phone number. We'll give him a call, see if he wants to step away from the ESPN desk and come on the show.
Wouldn't it be funny if he hopped on and then in the background you hear Mike Greenberg? Hey, Josh, coming up next, what should we do?
Would you shut up back there, Greeny? All right, we're doing an interview on Oregon JMU. We need thoughts on this weekend's games, all right? We got important things to tackle here.
Are they in New York or are they in Bristol?
They're in New York still, but I think that office, they're going to move to a different studio at some point.
Yes. Okay. They're getting out of that one. The waterfront one's going away.
I mean, he's been great all year of communicating, hey, a couple weeks here and there, can't make it at that normal time. I think this is one, the playoff is here.
It is here. It starts tomorrow night, 5 o'clock on ABC.
I also think he is just so overwhelmed, and it's been such a long season with this new lifestyle of his.
Yeah.
That I think it's just like, crap, I forgot to reach out to some of my my favorite locals in the different states.
Got 15 to 20 hits I do throughout the course of the week, and it's hard to keep track of every single one of them when they're texting you, when are you going to be on? There's a lot going on in that guy's life right now, so I don't think we're going to get him on at 7:40. Breaking news this morning, he probably will not be on the show today.
That's too bad.
It's funny because I asked that right before we came on. Did we hear from him? You're like, I'm not sure. Or maybe we'll just call him, and then that show starts right as we start. Nope, not happening.
You could make an argument, though. I'll take Josh Pate any time every day if I could get him.
Yeah, maybe he'll come on Monday. Maybe we'll get Reaction Pate on Monday.
Which I think would be better.
Probably.
Because based on the commentary I've heard of his on JMU Oregon, not a whole lot there, Bob. Thinks it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, he thinks the game's over at the end of the first quarter.
Yes.
It's just saying,
Yeah, so do I.
It's a formality. We're here. Let's see how this looks and how many millions more are going to watch Packers and Bears instead of Ducks and JMU.
It's definitely going to be on my iPad, that NFL game, and I could see myself looking down at that when it's like the start of the fourth quarter and it's 41-7.
I don't blame you at all for switching over. At a certain point, if the score...
No, I'll keep it on the whole way.
Okay, you watch the whole thing?
But my attention will be more...
Is there a number of score that would get you to turn the game off in the second half?
Oh, that's a great... You mean like to not pay attention at all
like
to what's
just
happening?
Like, all right, that's... Okay.
45-0.
45-0 at the half will get you to do it.
45-0 is like, okay, if they want this to be 65-2, they will.
Sure. Well, how many guys are going to play in the second half if it's 45-0 at halftime? Get a series in the third quarter, and you're like, all right, there you go. We'll see you in Miami in a couple of weeks.
The only problem is me coming in on Monday, because I think Monday's going to be our last show for about a week and a half. The only problem is coming in on that Monday, and we say, well, that game was over, and then you're like, oh, no, Sprague, did you see that freshman third quarter? Made a pretty big play. I'm like, it was 55-10. No, it wasn't, Sprague. It means more than that. And I'm going to be like, okay, here I am. Debbie Downer.
Let me take the reins. Give Jesus the wheel, dude. I'll do that segment, all right? I got the wheel. I'll do the segment on the third-string defensive tackle that had a couple of TFLs in the fourth quarter. What's the matter with you? We got to watch the whole thing.
Can I ask you something? I know this is random, but you sparked something in my mind.
Yeah, what do you got?
I don't know why this is popping up in my algorithm. Maybe it is because of the season.
Sure.
I had a video pop on my algorithm that was some movie podcast, or maybe it was a religious podcast. I couldn't quite tell.
Okay.
But it was basically a guy saying, you know that old man Marley in Home Alone is Jesus, right? And I'm like,
what?
Yeah, and it got me. Wait. I watched the whole video. It's like 2 minute long. And
is that the neighbor, the scary neighbor?
Yeah, the old guy.
With the shovel?
Yeah.
That's Jesus, huh?
Well, he started making good point. I mean, I'm sitting there like,
he's salting the streets.
He salted the earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is in the church.
He's in the church.
He's in the church.
There's what the choir is singing is they're singing "Oh Holy Night."
Okay. Is that what they sing to Jesus?
He talks about how his son is not, man is not coming to him. When he walks through the store where Kevin steals a toothbrush, the bell goes off. Angel gets wings. Puts his hand on the thing. It's bleeding. Where's it bleeding?
It is bleeding.
On the palm.
Yeah.
Later in the movie, you see the back of his hand also has...
It's bandaged.
He has a little mark, so it looks like hand got pierced.
It's wrapped up.
It's just, it was like a 2-minute video of that. I'm like, why is this on my algorithm?
Look, we've all been there before. We've all been there where you watch a video, you have no idea going in, why am I watching this video? And at the end of it, you're like, wait, that was kind of a good argument. I didn't see that coming.
They made a lot of good points.
I've seen enough YouTube videos to think Tupac is still alive. Just hanging out in the Bahamas, man. Just, did we ever really know that he died? Are we sure?
Pretty sure we did.
I don't think we did. He could be in the Bahamas right now.
Kevin walks through the basement at the very end of the movie to trick the bad guys, but they're on the other end of that door. What's he walk through to go up that basement?
Water. Walking through water.
He's reborn.
Now, let me ask you this. Can I poke a hole in the theory?
Oh, please. Because
he greets the family at the end of the movie. He reunites with his child.
Yeah.
And the family is back in town.
Yeah.
Are you telling me Jesus has kids?
Well, basically the guy points... No, it's not about it's a symbolism of Jesus.
He's the symbolism of Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he points to the 3 different sets of the movie where man denies Jesus.
Ah.
And it comes back.
Okay.
And they're hugging.
You know what? I'll allow it. What the hell? On a Thursday? I'll allow it. YouTube video or wherever you watch it, Twitter, whatever, Instagram video.
It was Instagram
Video that popped up.
Breakdown. I'm like, what am I doing?
2 minutes? Yeah. All right. You're never going to get that time in your life back.
What's Christmas without a little Christ?
Sure.
Good morning, Casey. How are you today?
Jesus puts the Christ in Christmas, doesn't he there, Casey?
You're damn right he does. That's the reason we celebrate every single year.
Casey's over here pulling double duty.
What time did you get home last night?
Like 8 o'clock.
Okay, it's not bad.
Nothing crazy.
Oh, you didn't have to
bed.
do a Pilots game?
No.
Do we have anybody running that game?
No, just sent it to automation because I think Swag's down there.
Oh, okay.
Swag was one of 14 people in attendance last night at Matthew Knight Arena.
8 o'clock's a tough start time for a basketball game.
I mean, that should be the first thing that whoever is in charge of college athletics gets to decide is that 8 p.m. tips should be illegal.
Yeah.
They should not be allowed. That just, that's rule number 1 if I'm taking over and running college sports, 8 o'clock, against the law. Unless it's a Saturday night. Saturday night or Friday night, allowable. Any other night, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that is illegal and not allowed to play.
Now, what about an 8:15 kick time for a Monday Night Football game?
Nope, I'm out on that. Should be illegal, too. I've always argued they should just start it earlier. We don't even work on the West Coast. What the hell are we doing at 4 o'clock?
You're not wrong.
We're just hanging out. We're going to coffee shops.
You're telling me we wouldn't find a way to watch Monday Night Football if it kicked off at 4 o'clock?
You walk around, I'm going to go Christmas shopping today. This is my last day.
Dude, this is the last weekend.
This is it. I got 1 week to go.
I know.
I don't want to let it linger. I got to work this weekend, and the next week comes, and then it's the week of Christmas. It's going to be, chaotic. So I will be Christmas shopping today after the show. You know how many people are going to be at the mall?
It's going to be insane.
It's going to be packed.
Why are you going to the mall? Let me just ask you that.
One-stop shop.
So just in hopes that you get all the gifts you need done.
Well, I don't know.
Stores?
I don't know what I'm going to get. I got to get gifts for the wife's cousins. I got to buy gifts for them.
The what?
The wife's cousins. We could do gifts for all the cousins on the wife's side of the family. Men separated by sex, thankfully.
So men buy for men.
So men buy for men and women buy for women.
Misogynistic family.
That's how we roll, baby. Or I should say they. Well, I guess me because I'm involved in it too now.
Do a women have say in any of that, or are they just told to shut up and sit to the side?
I tried to shut down the gift idea 2 years ago, and then I got shot down. I'm like, do we really need to do this? I'll just see you guys at Christmas. And it was like, no, we're doing gifts. All right. So they all play golf, so that's an easy thing to get. I'll just go find them something golf related. Very simple there. I have to buy a gift for my nephew, but that's super easy. He just wants cards. He's super into trading cards. That's the easiest one to buy.
Yeah.
He wants a CD Lamb rookie, so I got to go find myself a CD Lamb rookie card. Why? I don't know.
What if that's like $80?
There's no way a CD Lamb rookie card is $80.
I'm going to tell you
I know you're
something.
bigger into the card community than I am.
You're not going to believe me when I tell you this.
Okay.
Because I don't even know if I believe it.
Okay.
My nephew has he has a friend that he goes to high school with that is super into trading cards. Like, goes to conventions. He drives to Roseburg.
So he's all about it.
All about it.
Okay.
He claims that his friend makes $130,000 a year.
Selling cards?
Buying and selling
cards?
Yeah. He claims that.
Okay.
It's like a junior in high school that he is claiming makes $130,000 a year.
Okay.
Buying cards and taking them to shows and selling them.
That's a hell of a life if you could do it.
Well, he's gotten in on this now with this buddy.
It's a little side hustle.
So he hasn't really walked me through every element of it, but he bought some cards
It's basically just a gamble, right? Aren't you like ripping packs and hoping you find something that then you could sell? Isn't that the whole point of it?
Oh yeah, there was a family. There's a funny story about this that I just read. So there's these two kids, and I think they're also high schoolers. They're really into this. And so they got in on, I can't remember how much exactly they spent, but it's like you spend $150.
Mm-hmm.
It's somewhere in that ballpark. And you get to pick a baseball team. And in the baseball team, you get a mystery box package, whatever it is.
Right.
And so basically these kids bought that purchase. They got that membership. And then they were asked what team. They said the Dodgers.
Good team to pick.
They open the thing. Guess what they get?
Something Shohei Ohtani related?
A 101 Shohei, a piece of gold from the jersey, some specialty jersey they had. That
now
was
you're making
signed.
bank.
And they tell their mom, and mom is in this story. Talk about not knowing.
Just no clue.
They're like, hey, mom, the auction's tonight. And she goes, shut up. We have dinner. And they were like, Mom,
wait, this is a big deal.
This could be a big deal. And she's like, yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a big deal.
I'm sure your cards are going to make us a lot of money.
They start eating dinner. They turn the auction on because the dad convinces the mom to watch the auction.
Let's keep an eye on this.
And the mom goes, I realized it was a big deal when the card started at $200,000.
We're going to be rich.
And now I think, I can't remember exactly where it falls in the ranking, but it was something like it's going to get over $1 million.
That's insane.
And it's going to be one of the most, coveted sports cards of all time. And this mom...
No clue.
She has high school kids.
Yeah, she had no clue.
She's not believing these kids.
These dumb kids with their trading cards. How many moms for generations were right on that, though? Because I feel like those cards didn't really exist when we were young.
Well, so our generation of teenage years, childhood years, high school years, we got kind of screwed.
Yeah, we got hosed.
Because the card market oversaturated everything. And so all our great cards, I had a cool binder full of cards.
Who didn't?
And I ended up looking up all of them, and they were all worth 80 cents.
There's nothing.
$1.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, that's a Jerome Bettis rookie card.
How is that not worth anything?
You would think that'd be worth something. Nope, it was 77 cents. And I remember being so disappointed. And then in the last 8 to 10 years,
it's gotten bigger again.
It's because specialty cards are becoming more and more because they're finding people will spend $100
for the opportunity.
And most of these people are not hitting. Me and Tubbs spent $50 each.
I remember that story.
And we got a Zion Williamson card, which in the moment wasn't awful, but it probably grades out at a 7. Well, his career sucks. Yeah. Now it's worth nothing.
If he would have been the next Michael Jordan, you could have made a lot of money off of that bad boy. Yeah. But he just, porn stars and too many beignets, unfortunately, cost you a lot of money.
There was a couple in Vegas. There's a big machine in Vegas, you put a couple bucks in, and it's how would I? You remember the Proactive Zit cases at malls?
Yes, I do remember those.
So think of that, but sports jerseys.
Okay.
So you spend $50 or $100.
Put it in.
They put it in. It drops the box out of the vending machine. You grab it. You open it. This couple does this in Vegas. They open this. These are not sports fans. And the lady opens it up, and it's a yellow jersey, and she holds it, and the guy's like, "Who is it?" And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, turn it around. He turns it around. It's a signed jersey, mind you. And he goes, Skeens? Do you say that right? Skeens?
Skeens? How do you say that?
And it's a signed rookie Pirates Skeens jersey.
Paul Skeens jersey.
Everybody is like, oh my God, you've won the lottery.
He might be the next Nolan Ryan. You hold on to that bitch for as long as you can.
Well, there's the thing. Do you, or do you sell now in case he ever has Strasburg stuff? I'd be torn on that.
That's a difficult thing. What's the difference in price now as opposed to?
You don't want to be the guy who sold it too early.
You don't want to hold. You don't want to sell it now, and then he turns out to win 300 games and is the greatest pitcher of all time.
Exactly.
And you had a signed jersey when he was a rookie that you could have held on to, and now it's worth $1.8 million.
Right.
But you sold it for $30K.
Yeah.
You got to hold. I think I hold on to it. I think I wait and see on that bad boy.
Okay.
A little bit of faith there. I'm looking on eBay right now. I see your larger point about cards, and I think you are right. I don't think CeeDee Lamb is quite that level of player.
Well, I was just throwing a number. I don't know anything about him.
If I can't find an individual one, I'll just get him a box of cards.
One of the big stores has been selling packs. I've been noticing because I've had to do pickups for my wife.
Sure.
and I've noticed there's basketball sports packs with Cooper on the cover.
Yeah.
They're like the display box, it's sold out every time I go.
Just can't even find it.
And then kids are also doing this with Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon I know has been a big deal
Pokemon's
for a
made
long
a big
time.
comeback for the same reason. They're trying to get those rare Charizards or.
Well, it's a great way to make money if you can find a way to do it. It's a hell of an investment. If you land the right pack or the right card, you can make some cash off of that bad boy.
I just refuse to believe that my nephew's buddy is making $130K. Like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, that's a good way to make $130,000.
He's a junior in high school.
Opening and selling cards.
Oh, he's going to shows and he's buying cards, and then he takes them to different shows and he just hawks them for more money.
Yeah, it's wild. That's wild. Why
I feel so stupid.
How is the price different? How is it that big of a difference where you're actually making that kind of money?
Like, why didn't I buy Bitcoin in 2012? Why am I not more knowledgeable in the sports card game?
Anybody tell me to buy Apple when I was 7 years old, man?
No,
that would
I
have been
mean,
really cool. Could have made a lot of money that way.
There is some of that, yeah.
So I got to go buy him a box of cards today. So that's, and then let's see. I think that's about it.
The shopping is feeling overwhelming for me because there's like 4 people I don't know what to buy.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be creative and but I'm like stuck in a rut right now.
Don't know what to do.
No.
Yeah, I had that with you this year for Christmas. I'm like, I don't know what the hell to get Sprague for Christmas.
I got you something really nice.
Okay.
I'm just going to set that expectation now.
That's a high bar. I'm probably not going to cross over that high bar.
I swear to God, if it's like a Jamarcus Shepard rookie card.
That's actually a good idea. Put that in a frame, hanging in your man cave. Thanks for the last-minute gift ideas.
Do you hang a card in the man cave?
Put that thing in a case, dude. He could lead you guys to the college football playoff. That's going to be worth a lot of money in Corvallis in 5 years.
I hope so, man. I hope so. All right, well, we got a lot to get. Well, we have stuff to get to.
Yeah, we do.
I don't want to act like we got a lot to get to.
Yesterday was kind of a dead night in sports. College football went a little wonky yesterday. Portal stuff going on. Guys leaving and going.
What's going on in Seattle?
More coach movement. Yeah, that's a weird one for Husky fans yesterday.
That signal up about Michigan and the coach at Seattle?
I don't know. If you're in line to be a starter at a Big Ten team, entering the portal is a...
After being told that their NIL and their collective and all that was more together.
And they just had a good recruiting class.
That's what I
seem
heard.
like everything's going in the right direction.
So confused.
That's a strange one for me.
So we'll talk with Brady Henderson at 8:15.
Massive Thursday night football game tonight.
And we'll talk about that one as well. Seahawks and Rams. I'm looking forward to that game.
What do we do if Darnold throws 4 picks again?
I think we're all doing the same thing.
All doing the same thing?
You're not a serious team.
Yeah. Are they eliminated tonight if he throws 4 picks? It's a good poll question.
Yes, but no.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, not technically, but maybe.
All right. Well, let's start with this one. A PSA in sports. It needs to be said. Next on The Fan. Got some odds and ends to get to today. Maybe not the most impressive start for a certain new head coach at his new program. We'll get to that. We got audio for that.
There's only one way to go, and that's up. Can't get worse than that.
From where they're at right now, they can actually go down.
That is true, yeah.
So we'll get to that. We got the Magic Hat today. And I'm going to do a segment without Swag because Swag's not doing the show today. And it's just bad timing and bad luck because Swag is actually the one. I've thought this. He's just the one that said it on a group chat one day. And I'm like, I agree 100%. So we'll get to that coming up in the Magic Hat.
He's getting ready to call some Lady Pilots basketball in like 6 hours.
I want to actually. Didn't think I'd talk college basketball, but I want to start with a PSA.
Okay.
Dear Scott Barnes.
Yes.
Alum, Oregon State, Brandon Sprague here.
Hello, Brandon. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm doing great, Scott.
You're doing good. Okay.
I know you probably hate us, and you don't like anybody outside of one media member.
Yeah.
But I'd just like to tell you, dear God, for the love that all is holy, stop scheduling Sam Houston State in any sport.
Just cancel it all.
The men's basketball team lost at home to Sam Houston State again. They did. And I say again because, yeah, I'm taking the football thing and I'm adding it to it.
Yep.
What are we doing?
And it was a double-digit loss, too.
10 points.
10 points. Trailed the entire game. I think they were down by 9 at halftime.
We have one good player. We have Josiah Lake, and that's it. We don't have anybody else. It's Josiah Lake, and that's it. We got a Yak Yak.
What happened to Yak Yak? What's Yak Yak doing these days?
I don't know.
Did Yak Yak have a bad game last night?
I don't know, man.
Come on,
why are we playing that team? Why?
Yeah, the idea of losing to the same team like Sam Houston in multiple sports is just brutal. I have this with whenever Oregon schedules Boise State, I have the same reaction.
That's a good one for you.
Why are we playing Boise State? Stop. I know we finally beat them last year. I think that was the first time Oregon had ever beaten Boise State. And they probably shouldn't have won the game. It's why are we doing this? I don't want to play them anymore. We get nothing out of it. Nobody gives us credit when we beat them. They usually beat us. They're a thorn in our side. It's their Super Bowl. I want nothing to do with it. Please, for the love of God, Rob Mullen, stop scheduling Boise State. Now, other sports, whatever. I don't think they're any good at any other sports. That's mainly just a football thing. When Sam Houston has your number, you know things are going rough, and that's the case right now in Corvallis.
Yeah, they're 6-6.
6-6, man. Not good. Wayne Tinkle, here he comes. We got to get Bill Orm back on. Let's recheck in on see how that's going.
Well, it's funny. People want to high step about him in that program when they win like 3 games in a row against teams I barely have heard of, but we don't want to talk about how they've lost at home this year to Sam Houston State now and Cal Baptist.
To the 3-game winning streak that you were talking about, that was over Vermont. They smoked Vermont.
Man, fighting Bernie Sanders.
80-58.
Yep.
Had a nice, close, tighty win over Southern Utah, 81-7.
Oh,
or excuse me, 81-70. 81-7 would be really impressive. And then Montana State, the fighting Brent Vegans came to town.
Oh, man.
And you guys beat them by 10, 67-57.
That's crazy. Those are 3 impressive wins right there. Resume builders.
And then Sam Houston came to town. Your 6 wins this year are against those 3 teams, North Dakota State, University of Illinois, Chicago, and North Texas. Those are the 6 teams you've beaten this year.
Which one was it that we should have lost to?
That was
North Texas?
Either that or UIC or North Dakota State, because all 3 of those were 2-point wins. So the first 3 wins of the year.
We are like 6 points away from 0-12.
You are 6 points away from being 3-9 because your other wins are a comfortable margin.
Touche. 3-9.
It's the start of your year that those 3 wins weren't very good.
Gotcha.
There's nothing worse, and I'm saying this from my own fandom. Now my team beat the Pilots last night, which I love that Swag on his way out of the building yesterday.
Oh, I want to talk about that too.
He mentioned, hey, we'll find out how good the Ducks are tonight, and I'm like, based on what? Beating the Pilots? You guys suck. Like, that's not a litmus test for anything.
I want to. What do you do with a coworker that says outlandish things? Like, do you confront them, or do you just let them say it and you play along with it until the conversation is over? Because he's been doing this lately. They beat Kent State.
You're like, look out.
It's like this Kent State win for him just suddenly means that Portland's like a legitimate juggernaut. And so he did say that yesterday. He goes, we'll see how good the Ducks really are tonight. They won 94-69.
I mean, evidently, that means we're going to the Final Four. And I quickly reminded him that last year we should have lost to the Pilots at home, and Oregon still ended up going to the tournament and winning a game in the tournament. So didn't quite give us the direct correlation. I immediately pushed back because that needs to happen from time to time. I feel like Swag's just gotten to the point where he needs Pilots therapy. Like, we need to send him to a professional to talk through these issues. that he has.
I mean, he's literally missing his full-time benefited salaried job to call basketball part-time, not being paid by our company.
Well, and then it's on top of it.
Like if I missed a show and I said, Dirt, I'm missing the show today.
Hey, what are you doing today?
Because I'm going to go work another part-time job.
You're going to go call.
Would anybody be okay with that?
You're calling Oregon State Wrestling today. What? What? Who? Huh?
Like, excuse me?
That's a day off for you? All right. I'll see you on Monday, I
Are
guess.
Pilots games still on 9:10, or is that moved?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Casey, do you know if Pilots games are on 9:10?
I want to say they are.
Okay.
They still are.
I mean, am I the guy to ask these questions?
You'd
Casey,
be more likely to know than I would.
You read your emails more than we do.
I
so
don't read my email. I don't look at his schedules. I don't do any of
I
it.
have a feeling you know the answer better than we would. I also, there is nothing worse as a basketball fan, because I've already had this feeling early in the year.
Sure.
We haven't even gotten to the point where we're supposed to care about college basketball yet.
I don't care about college
No.
basketball.
And that is a long ways down around the corner. And all you can ask from your college basketball team of like, can you just get me to the point where you're relevant enough that when I actually want to care about college basketball, you're giving me reasons to watch. That's all that I ask. It's like, to me, with my baseball team now at this point, I just ask, can you get me to August? Can you get me to August
Get you to
where I'm
football season?
remotely interested in like, yeah, that's right, they're playing today. Let's check out the game. Because by the time football season starts, I
Yeah.
would love for my team to be involved. But if they're not, I got football. And so it's going to fill my sports hole. I have that. But college basketball is so far down the runway that if you're already to the point where you're like, God, this team sucks and I don't care, then it's just that hole's going to be empty for you, buddy.
So you're just looking for college basketball, fill your holes.
I just fill my holes. Fill my holes after football. In March, February and March,
Sure.
are you going to fill my hole? That's what I look at college basketball.
Well, I'm looking at December, and I'm going to say for my team, no, they're not.
This is my point. I think your team is already...
They're done.
They're already leaving a hole in your heart.
Yeah, well, it's over.
There's no recovery here.
I mean, they were 5th in the WCC last year.
They were.
That was supposed to be like, oh, maybe we lose to Gonzaga, but nobody else.
Conference play hasn't even started yet, buddy. Okay, there's a long ways to go. You guys are a dark horse in the WCC this year.
Don't schedule Sam Houston State, Oregon State. What are you doing?
That's the lesson of the night. Don't play them anymore in any sport. If baseball has them on the schedule, immediately revise that schedule. I don't even know if they're good at baseball. It doesn't matter. Don't play them.
I'm debating now what's more egregious, him missing his full-time salaried job for a part-time gig side or him not watching Game 7 live.
I still say Game 7.
I think Game 7 is ultimately the answer.
Yeah, because we've gotten used to this over the years. This is just the way he's allowed to operate. Game 7 is an inexcusable.
It's a very good way of putting it, allowed to operate.
Yeah, he just, he comes and goes as he pleases.
Yeah.
The Game 7 thing, and it's not necessarily just that he didn't watch Game 7.
I don't think he went back and rewatched it.
It's the fact that he's defensive when you bring it up.
Because he knows he didn't watch it.
Like,
he saw the highlights, he heard what people were talking about, he
Yeah.
took that, and then he gets defensive about it because he knows he didn't watch Game 7.
Yeah, if he immediately would have been like, you know what, guys, you're right. That was egregious fan behavior. I ridicule me, please. I will take your arrows. I deserve everything. I can't believe I did that. It was a horrible mistake. Maybe we let it die, but he's still defensive over it, and we're never going to let that die.
I mean, I'd borderline call you not a fan if I found out you didn't watch your team's Game 7.
I'm trying to think of like any level of playoff game that I would be like, nah, I'm not gonna, unless there's some like family thing going, something you legitimately can't get.
If you're going to get swept and you don't watch it live, I get it.
Game 4,
But a Game 5, 7 elimination game, like, you should be watching that live.
you got to be watching that game live.
It's crazy.
There's no excuses, man. Play like a champion.
All right. How about this off the beaten path? What does it mean sports story? This one's a little bit of a doozy. So we'll get to that coming up next on 105.1 The Fan.
This is Dirt and Sprague. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. A great spot for any occasion, and don't forget, you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com. First on the Fan, Thursday Night Football is in the Northwest as the Seattle Seahawks host the Los Angeles Rams in the NFC West matchup with major playoff implications. Seahawks have ruled out left tackle Charles Cross, while the Rams struggle with injuries as Devontae Adams is doubtful with both a hamstring and a knee injury. Seattle and Los Angeles coming in at 11-3. Seattle is the favorite in this one at 1.5 points. Some more NFL news for you as Titans quarterback Cam Ward has stated that he wants to be a part of the team's head coaching search in this offseason. Tennessee fired head coach Brian Callahan back in October after a 1-5 start to the season. Your Portland Trailblazers host the Sacramento Kings tonight inside the Moda Center. Tip-off at 7 p.m. as Drew Holiday has been ruled out for tonight's game, still nursing that calf injury. Ducks men's basketball walked away with a victory last night against the Portland Pilots. Final score on that one was 94-69. Kwame Evans leading the way for Oregon. He posted 21. Ducks women's basketball will take on the Pilots this morning inside of Matthew Knight Arena. That game will tip off at 11 a.m. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Go George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of Ducks game day, before and after every Ducks.
Well, not very often you get a chance to speak with somebody in absolute power in sports.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of the dream of all the fans, is to have the ear of somebody that's a decision maker. I didn't get to this yesterday. It was on my show notes, and I wanted to bring it to you. Did you see the story that a Warrior fan following the Portland Trailblazer win against the Dubs?
We have their number this year, 3-0 against Golden State.
Justin Dutari, he emailed the owner of the Warriors, Joe Lacob, and he just went through and said, we need a real second option, that Jimmy Butler's tools are being underutilized. He blamed the lack of positional size on the roster, and he ended by saying, I am so frustrated with this team. He got a response back from the owner of the organization. Joe Lacob did email him back and said, quote, you can't be as frustrated as me. I am working on it. It's complicated. Style of play, coach's desires regarding players, league trends. Jimmy is not the problem, end quote. He then did the worst thing you could do if you ever want a response from the owner. He went and published it on Warrior Reddit.
He did.
And everybody has noted, oh my God, is Lacob taking a particular shot at Steve Kerr here? Now, Kerr was asked about it. He said it's no big deal, and he's not concerned about anything at all in regards to him and Lacob.
No.
But I did find it interesting that a fan got pissed, emails the owner, and the email actually has a response from the person he's shooting an email to. And so I just wonder, how many emails have you sent Jody?
I don't have Jody's email, unfortunately, because if I did, I would have spammed her probably on a week in, week out basis for the last 7 years or so. This is one of the things I did see this week. It's awesome that you have an owner that's willing to respond. I don't think there's a lot of controversy behind the scenes. They're just a weirdly built team that's still trying to hang on and win, with a collection of guys that are probably outside of Steph, all past their prime of where they needed to be. Jimmy Butler's a bit of a squirrely character. He's not talking to the media when they lose certain games. They've just kind of run their course. I'm curious what the future looks like. I don't think Steve Kerr is necessarily in trouble, but I did see the story, and I thought this is one of the reasons I'm so excited for Tom Dundon. Because he seems like the kind of guy that you could email and he would respond to you back. Dude, I get it. I'm not happy with it either. I'm right there with you. I think if I emailed Jody Allen, what's the Blazers' record right now? I don't think she could tell me.
So if you saw her at the corner store.
Hey, I just popped into the store.
And be like, oh, hey, Jody, what's the Blazers record right now?
What happened in the last game? I don't think she could tell me.
Was she at the last game? She does go to the games.
She does go to the game. She sits courtside with Burt Cole.
You don't think she knows the record of the Blazers?
I don't think she knows the record of the Blazers. I don't think she could tell you off the top of her head.
Without looking it up?
She probably, they got a losing record. She knows that because she's been in enough games to know that they have a losing record. And, we're starting City Sissoko right now, so they probably have a losing record. I don't think she could tell you at all. I love the transparency, man. I wish that there was more of this in sports. I love when owners are willing to interact with their fans. Ultimately, it's the one thing that I think people miss, and Jody's a prime example of this, that's your client base.
Yeah, but how many owners in the NBA would even respond to this? Because
not a lot.
Prior to the sale, you'd say Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban famously responds to people if they email him.
Absolutely would have been one of them.
Lacob, obviously a guy who cares a lot and is really invested in the Warriors' interest. He's responding.
It's a very limited.
I don't know how many you would say.
I can't name that many NBA owners off the top of my head.
But would A-Rod respond to a pissed off T-Wolves fan?
Probably not.
Because that'd be cool.
Isn't he like the Magic Johnson in that though? Isn't he like the
I think he's got a little more percentage stake than Magic Johnson.
Slightly higher percentage.
Slightly
than
higher than Magic. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think he would be one. I could see Ballmer doing this. He's a bit of a Looney Tune character.
Well, maybe not right now because of everything going on with the investigation. But prior to the Kawhi,
not currently
stuff, yeah, I could see Ballmer doing it.
I just this is your client base. These are the people you want to be invested. These are the people you want to care about your product. These are the people that you want to buy tickets and to buy merchandise, and they are the revenue generators for your team. And to act as if their opinions don't care or you're being too angry, some of that stuff from owners drives me nuts from time to time. And I thought this was a really cool story. Golden State's not going anywhere. I don't know how their future looks over the next couple of years. I don't think you're fixing this. They tried the Jimmy thing. Maybe I end up being wrong. They're going to be a playoff team probably this year, but
they're a play-in team.
Well, it's the Blazers are a play-in team, so that's we are 3-0 against them, so I should not take my shots at Golden State because we have beaten them 3 times we played them. But I don't know where their future goes from here. They're just a weird team.
They are a weird team.
What's the future of Steph? Does he retire there?
I think that's the goal, yeah. I don't think Steph Curry wants to wear another jersey.
So you try and recycle it out with new players again this offseason? Yeah, maybe LeBron for a year on a vet minimum goes to Golden State?
I don't know.
That doesn't change anything either.
I don't know if that's the play.
Yeah.
Because Jimmy's not having a stellar season. He's not quite being playoff Jimmy.
No.
Draymond is a walking turnover every night at this point.
Yep.
Steph has been awesome. And then who do you go to? Pajemski?
Yeah.
Pat Spence, the lacrosse guy? GP2?
That's where you're going.
Kuminga's not even playing.
No.
Like, I don't... And that's
he was
the
a guy
weird
that
thing.
wanted a payday in the offseason, and they had that whole
they gave him a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if... Not that I think they'll sink to this level. I do think it's interesting to see a all-time great who's had tremendous success and helped revolutionize the sport have to go through this. And this is the first year now with Mahomes and the Chiefs. They missed the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they'll fall to this level.
No, because he's only 30, I think, right?
Yeah, but we do kind of assume a little too much as sports fans. And sometimes sports reminds us, hey, when you think so-and-so is going to be right back near it, other teams show you they know how to build it a little better.
Yeah.
Right? Like Denver's on the Knicks contract right now, so that's incredibly cheap. So they could just keep rebuilding and building alongside him.
Yep. And by the way, the dead money on Russell's contract comes off the books next year because this is the last year they're paying that dead money hit on Russell
New
Wilson.
England's got the same thing with Drake May. The Chargers might finally get a healthy offensive line next year. Maybe they get serious about adding a weapon. That's not going to go away.
Yeah.
So you just look at the landscape of the sport, and you're like, it is Mahomes, it's the Chiefs. But we're seeing it with Curry and the Warriors. I would have thought the Warriors were going to be a little better this year than they have been, and they're just like,
Yeah.
bottom-tier play-in team in the West that has no real shot of winning the championship.
Well, and you look at the West, and you got Wemby as a young player. Houston's got a great young core.
Right.
The Lakers have Luka. Denver has Jokic, and OKC's the greatest team of all time. So it's like, I mean, it's a murder's row at the top of the West. Once you get past like Minnesota in the 6th spot, the rest of the West is kind of hot garbage.
Yep.
And that's where Golden State happens to be right now. This is the end of Kobe in LA. Like we all remember the end of it and him having the 80-point game or, whatever, how many shots he took in his final game.
The 60 on 60.
60 on 60, thank you. We remember that, but let's not forget how ugly the last, how many years were in
Those
LA
teams
for
were
Kobe.
terrible
They
at
were
the end.
terrible, and they were a bunch of young players, and they were lottery picks, and they were coming to town, and it was basically just a traveling Kobe show, and you would go to see them because it was Kobe one more time, or you're not quite sure when he's going to hang him up. That's kind of where Golden State's at right now. Like, nobody takes him seriously in the Western Conference. He can have confidence that they can get it fixed. I just don't know where it's going to come from.
Joe Lacob responding to a sports fan, and he posted online. I hope he doesn't stop responding to emails.
I love that, dude. I can't wait for Dundon to take over because he seems
You think
like,
he's going to... Okay, I want you to do me something. When he officially is announced,
give me the email and I'll send him an email.
he gets the press conference through.
Yes.
I do want you to send him an email.
Hey, Tom.
And then you say something that concerns you.
Yeah, here
I
are my-
look forward to your ownership and you changing this. I want to know if he'll respond.
I'll fire it off the second he
Okay.
takes over. Welcome to town, Tom Dundon.
Thanks, Andy. I appreciate your support.
My name's Dirt. Let's get this thing back on track, okay? Here's how we're going to do it. I got a 10-point plan.
A lot more to get into in college football in the National Football League, and we'll dive in next on The Fan.
The
All right, welcome back in. A lot to get to in the second hour of the old radio program. It's a good article written by your team. And I knew this guy was going to write an article because I watched the Lanning press conference yesterday. Mm-hmm. Ralph Russo.
Oh, what did old Ralph Russo write about?
He just wrote about how Oregon has paved their way in this age of college football. And he asked Lanning a couple questions, pretty open-ended dunk questions for Lanning.
Yeah, I do love when you hear those in the random press conferences now when somebody's got the article that they're writing and everybody's, specifically on, hey, is this guy playing? What about this coach? What about this? And then you get the random guy pops up on the Zoom interview and he says, how come you guys are successful in the Big Ten right away? It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of random. It's year 2, but all right, where are we going with this, Ralph?
He also gave him, I think he's like, it's kind of layup for you here, Dan.
Yeah.
Why is Oregon a great place for you to coach?
I think yes, why is it your dream job?
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, you keep asking that all you want. I'll take the lotion out. We'll get excited about it together.
We'll talk. We'll hear from Dan Lanning. We'll get into some more local
Take your hands and put it down your pants, son.
Squeeze them things.
He doesn't have Christmas lights on his house, though. Controversial, Dan. How's there not
dude,
anybody?
I was going to bring that up. I thought that was egregious.
Come on, Dan.
That would have been a follow-up if I was there.
Dude, you've had 2 weeks off. Okay?
Also, no,
I know
no,
recruiting
no.
stuff's going on. People are like, I'm not asking you to go Griswold here. I don't need them stapled to the roof every quarter inch. I just need, give me a strand on a gutter.
Here's my problem.
Cover a bush.
I'm a little old peon who makes no money, and I almost got to the 5-yard line of calling a light installing Christmas company. He's Dan Lanning.
They exist. You don't think some Duck fan would want to come put lights on Dan Lanning's house?
Dude, I don't care if they're a fan of the Ducks. Call literally any Christmas light hanging organization within a 5-mile radius of your house. Put some lights on your damn house. I heard that too, and my first instinct was, what? You're Dan Lanning. Your house should be one of the best in your neighborhood.
Come on, Dan. 3 kids who aren't quite high school age, right? I think they're all in middle school.
One of them is almost high school.
One of them almost high school.
Yeah.
So that's still you're not dealing with the littles, but still middle school kids get excited about Christmas lights.
Do you still like Christmas lights?
I love Christmas lights.
I love Christmas lights. Casey, do you like Christmas
I
lights?
love Christmas lights.
So what are we doing?
And he also added that they love going for walks as a family.
I know.
And judging the other houses in the neighborhood, which is a great thing. I love judging Christmas trees.
So do I.
He loves judging Christmas lights. We love doing that. You walk around ooh, that's a good one. What are they doing? What, blue? What's up with blue? Why are we doing that?
I might go to Peacock Lane this weekend.
Yeah.
I love Christmas lights. I heard him say this, and I actually had to rewind my YouTube.
Did he just say that?
Because I stopped listening for the next question and answer because I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're Dan Lanning.
I'm assuming he's on primetime today. I don't know. I'm assuming.
Primetime's not on today.
Oh, that's right.
Tomorrow. He's on tomorrow.
Okay, he's on tomorrow.
He is on
Thank you.
tomorrow. That's
He
confirmed.
will be on tomorrow
Okay,
with Suk.
he'll be on tomorrow. Okay, we need send Suk a text. He's got to ask him about this. I need to know why. Who's how do you not hire somebody? You're making $10 million a year, Dan. We got cash. Okay, it's not a money problem.
I just wanted to ask him what. Okay, 1, is it because you haven't had time? And 2, why not just hire somebody to do it?
Yeah, if you don't have the time, you can hire somebody to do it. But also, you don't have to go over the top. Get out there with the kiddos and put a net over a bush. Takes 2 seconds.
A net over a bush
Plug it in.
and 1 strand
Yes.
over just like a gutter.
Dude, it took me maybe 40 minutes to put up my Christmas lights this year. I kept it very simple. Get them up, looks good, turn them on, boom,
Well,
job done.
In a world where we don't pretend that kids aren't making money, we also shouldn't be pretending as if we don't know Dan Lanning makes $10 million effing dollars a year.
He's very well off financially. He's
hey Dan,
doing
you're
fine.
doing great for yourself.
Yeah.
Pay somebody a couple $100 to hang all these lights up. I don't get it.
I've
Just
seen
get
the
a little pop-up Santa.
I'll say this.
dude, get the blow ups.
Again, the blow-up little Santa.
Blow up, you put it in the yard, turn it on.
You love that man.
Yeah.
You love your program.
This was
egregious. I would have been actually upset at my coach if he said this publicly.
a little offended yesterday. I'm not going to lie. A little offended. Now, in different parts of the calendar, if you're playing a playoff game every single weekend this time of year, if that's the way it looks in the future, more understandable. They've been hanging out at home. They haven't played a game in 2 weeks. They had conference championship week off. Then it's Army-Navy week off.
Even if they had games, pay somebody.
He talked
You
about
don't have
going,
to be there for somebody to install lights on your house.
He talked about going for walks around the facility, and
I
some
know.
guy was out there playing Frisbee golf, and he's taking shots with him. Not shots of alcohol.
I think
but
it was DeAnthony Thomas.
Was it DeAnthony Thomas?
Yeah.
And he's just hanging out, taking pictures. You got time for that? We got time to put lights up, Dan.
If you're walking in a nature park and DeAnthony Thomas is playing Frisbee golf, do you stop and talk to him?
I would definitely stop and talk to him.
What would you say?
What's up, DeAnthony? How you doing?
That's it, huh?
Hey, remember that one time? Remember
Maybe that kick return?
that Kansas State game?
Remember sick-ass
the time
punt
we made a guy
returns?
turn around?
Hey, when you scored 2 touchdowns in the Rose Bowl, I threw up outside of the stadium after the game. Can't catch him.
Remember the Chrome Domes? Chrome Domes? Good day. All right, see you later, D'Anthony. That's what you would do?
That's exactly
That's
what I would do.
embarrassing.
No, I wouldn't. He actually seems like a really fun guy to talk to.
It's kind of cool that he's in the. Is he coaching? Like, what's
I
he
have
doing?
No idea.
That's kind of cool that he's just around.
I just hanging out.
I love that.
Anthony's just playing frisbee golf in the fields around Autzen
I
Stadium.
wish Jaquiz Rogers was just in a random Corvallis Park.
What's James doing right now? Get James
James
down
was
there.
there for a while
Was he?
after he graduated. Yeah.
Hanging around campus.
Dan Lanning, hire somebody. Put Christmas lights on your
We have
house.
a listener
please.
texting in, dude, Dan, I'll pay for you. I'll give you $100. Let's put some, let's come and get some lights on your house, man.
I would say, look, that's the problem with this country is we're paying the rich people
Yeah.
to do. You don't pay him.
Also, how
He should
big
be
of
paying you to do it.
Also, how big of a ladder do you need to put lights on Dan Lanning's house?
Well, we've seen his house.
Yeah, I don't remember every detail of it. I'd seen the inside
outside
of the
of
man
it
cave.
looks like a slightly higher 1-story house.
Okay,
but
so
I think it's elevated. I think he's got
Alright.
like a basement.
Yeah.
But the front end where he walks in
Shouldn't
and
be
out
too
of looks
difficult.
like a 1-story.
Come on, Dan.
What are we doing?
Come on, man.
Loaded second hour. We'll kick it off with some Duck talk. We got some Duck stuff we need to get to. Got some Oregon State stuff as well. Dirt and Sprague, hour number 2, 105.1 The Fan.
Actual price. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Red Tail Golf Center's holiday sale is going on now with up to 50% off all your holiday golfing needs. Red Tail Golf Center, where we guarantee the lowest holiday prices. Visit us at golfredtail.com. First on the Fan, Thursday Night Football is in the Northwest as the Seattle Seahawks host the Los Angeles Rams in an NFC West matchup with major playoff implications. Seahawks have ruled out left tackle Charles Cross, while Rams wide receiver Devonta Adams is doubtful with injuries to both his knee and his hamstring. Both Seattle and Los Angeles coming in at 11-3 on the season, Seattle coming in as 1.5-point favorites. Some more NFL news for you as Titans quarterback Cam Ward has stated that he wants to be a part of the team's head coaching search this offseason. Tennessee fired head coach Brian Callahan back in October after a 1-5 start to the season. Your Portland Trailblazers host the Sacramento Kings tonight inside the Moda Center. Tip-off at 7 p.m. as Jrue Holiday has been ruled out for tonight's game, still nursing that calf injury. Ducks men's basketball walked away with a victory last night against the Portland Pilots. Final score in that one was 94-69. Kwame Evans leading the way for Oregon. He posted 21 in the contest. Ducks women's basketball will take on the Pilots this morning inside of Matthew Knight Arena, and that game will tip off at 11 a.m. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson.
All right, welcome back in. A delightful little second hour here during Sprague, 105.1 the Fan Sports Network, the Odyssey app, YouTube. Good morning. Happy Thursday, December 18th out there. Only 7 more days. Guys, a week from today, we will be opening gifts.
1 week from today.
Can I ask you a very, very personal question?
Fire away. Is it going to make me uncomfortable?
It might.
By the way, the people are saying DeAnthony Thomas owns a roofing company in Eugene. So there you go. That's why he's hanging out in Eugene. He lives in Eugene and owns a roofing company. Does that roofing company put up
To my
lights?
knowledge, like roofing companies as side gigs, they hang lights for you. He literally has a former player
They do.
that's very popular, owns a roofing company. He sees him playing disc golf, and he still won't ask him to hang lights?
I love how somebody somehow got a beaver shot in. Here's a typical beaver, quick to spend everybody else's money. And then the
You're not wrong on that.
listener who said that he would, I'll pay you to hang the lights kind of thing. He said it would be awesome. He'd come out, give me one of his pregame pep talks. Rooted in substance is what these lights are going to be. You can count on these lights. As soon as you flip that switch, you can guarantee it'll light up.
Winning football is winning football.
Here's the deal, Dan. I'll hang your Christmas lights, but you got to give me a pep talk before I do it.
I have Lanning coming out. You're on the ladder hanging the lights.
We got him, boys.
And he's out and he's drinking eggnog out of the Moose Cup from Christmas Vacation. He's like, yeah, you're attacking that gutter with an intensity unknown to any man.
That's how you got to do it, man. Keep those things high and tight, baby, high and tight.
Danny texted me and said, Lincoln Riley has Christmas lights. And I said, yeah, he can't stop staring at him as he burns his brisket.
I think he's more worried about losing his defense coordinator at Penn State right now, but I digress. Maybe he should stop worrying about, maybe he should worry about burning his brisket, too.
Dude, that's one of the saddest pieces of meats I've ever seen in my life, that brisket.
Have fun in the LA Bowl. Where are they playing? Who knows?
Ducks and Dukes are on the Fan this Saturday. Pre-game coverage starts at noon with Ducks Game Day, brought to you by Coors Light, and wraps up with the Dick Hanna dealership's post-game scoreboard following the game.
What?
Andy Johnson What do we look forward to on the pregame of that thing?
I'll be there starting at noon. Well, I'll be there earlier than that, but the show starts at noon, and it'll be a lot of fun, man. It looks like the weather should be pretty good, just cold and chilly.
Should clear out by game day.
Should clear.
Game
Yeah,
time.
there's a chance a little bit of showers in the morning. It looks like, and then the day goes on. You're just looking at low 40s and cloudy. Although Jeff Russ will give you your weather updates every 10 minutes throughout the course.
What
of the
about my
show.
traffic?
He'll give you your traffic. Too.
Traffic and weather?
Jeff Russ
every
will be
5
here
minutes?
delivering at 90 seconds. We're down to 90
Yeah,
seconds
that's
now.
what it
He
feels
breaks
like.
into every segment.
Yep.
I get right in the middle of a hot take, and then Russ gives me my, well, there's an accident on I-5 right now. I can't wait, dude. It's going to be a lot of fun to be down there.
I have posted the poll question. Is it shocking that Dan Lanning admitted he has no Christmas lights on his house? No winning is just you guys sniffing butts because it is egregious. You should be able to say it whether you're a Duck fan or not. Yes, I would have just guessed Dan Lanning was a Christmas lights guy. And he admitted he is because he goes for walks.
To look at other lights around the
He does a
neighborhood.
family fart walk because it's delightful to do that.
You got to do it after dinner. You got to go get your farts out.
Dude, if I'm a Dan Lanning and I'm dominating the dojo, I want people to be like, yeah, dude, that's Dan Lanning's house.
Look at that.
He also attacks his house Christmas decorations the way he does a football game. He's ahead of the game. That's what I would be thinking.
Look, you know how I feel about Dan Lanning, okay?
I do.
You don't need to add any more context to that, but I'm disappointed in him. He went from a 10 out of 10 to a 9.9 in my book on this one.
Knocked it down.
He's a
huh?
9.9 now, not a 10 out of 10 anymore.
Well, he spoke yesterday.
What was the personal question you were going to ask me? You were going to ask me a really personal question.
Oh, well, I teased that a week from today is Christmas Day.
Oh, yeah, it is a week from today.
So I was just going to ask you, is there an element of you at all that you might shed a tear watching Teddy Ball game open a
dude,
gift?
I'm going to cry. I'll for sure cry. Like when he walks out of the room in the morning, because we're going to get it all set up. Well, Santa's going to come overnight, and so Santa will have shown up.
Does the delivery. Yeah,
I got him a
of
couple
course.
things. The mom got him a couple things, right? And so when nothing's in front of the tree right now, though.
Does mom and dad know what mom and dad got? Or is it separate ideas?
We now know. At first, I mean, I know which she's not buying what I'm buying. We're kind of swimming in different categories here.
Oh, okay.
I got him a Papa Shot and a football helmet. You know, those things
How
are
big's
not.
the Papa Shot?
It's for like little kids. It's not a
okay.
full size
Little
one.
Tykes
But my
one?
brother bought a full size Papa Shot for his kids, and now every time we're over at my brother's house, he just wants to go play on that, even though he physically can't do it because it's too tall.
That's cool.
And the hoop's up, but he's super into it. So I found like a toddler version of it that's lower to the ground that he could actually shoot on. Super psyched about that. We got to put it all together on Christmas Eve. I'm definitely going to cry. When he runs out of his room and says whatever comes out of his mouth, when he sees the floor covered in presents, I'm going to be bawling like a baby.
I'll tell you what I think he's going to say.
I know exactly what he's going to say.
Where is it? I hate our drops pages.
Whoa. There you go. There you go.
A Teddy Ball game, whoa.
I'm going to go. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Is there a woman crying up there? Yeah, she seems like she's having a hard time.
Yeah, she's having a really difficult time right now.
Dan Lanning did his press conference yesterday, and I thought there were a couple interesting things. There's one thing that he said that I actually thought applied to Oregon State.
Yeah?
Because they're playing James Madison. But he talked about, or he was asked a lot about the health of the team. The receivers are coming back potentially.
All listed as questionable yesterday.
All questionable. And someone was asking him about, how the guys who played before they got hurt, and one guy hasn't even played all year, how they fit in with the way that Benson's played, McMillan has played. Here is Dan Lanning on bringing the receivers back into the fold.
It's a balance, right? It's you don't sprint back in and throw somebody into the fire. It's you build it as it goes, and we found strengths as guys have been out, and those are strengths that we want to continue to lean on. Guys that do some things really, really well, and I think one thing we do well on offense, obviously you're talking about some of the offensive injuries, is we've done a really good job personnelling teams. But now we have a variety of personnels that we can use when you start getting guys healthy, and it makes you multi-dimensional, and gives you an opportunity to use guys with their strengths.
So, I don't know if you set an expectation, especially in this game where everybody kind of has the same takeaway of it, but
right.
I'm curious to see if Stewart makes his debut, if DeCorian comes back, if Bryant comes back. I'm reading tea leaves here. It feels like it's going to be a little bit of a snap count restrictions here. Ease them in.
Series here, series there.
Yeah,
rotate
because,
guys in and out.
Look, the receiving core, I think, has stepped up pretty well post the injuries of these guys. You still want them back, and to have them back, I think, puts Oregon in a different stratosphere. But it seems like he's kind of saying they ease back into the flow of things.
Well, the other part of this, too, that's interesting, and I tend to think, I don't know how many of the three play, but some of them will play. I think Gary Bryant's very likely to play this weekend, and then DeCorian Moore and Evan Stewart time will tell on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, they had Justice Low enter the transfer portal, and which is, root for him. He's a local kid.
He hasn't played a lot this year.
Hasn't played a lot, just been a little bit lower on the depth chart. But if the three guys who were banged up don't play, that leaves Oregon with 3 scholarship wide receivers available for Saturday night. Now, they're still going to beat James Madison either way.
They can just run the ball all
They're just
night.
going to run the ball every time. But the only guys that are technically available as of now are Malik Benson, Cooper Perry, and McClellan, Jeremiah McClellan.
I
So
said
that's what you got.
McMillan, by the way. My bad. McClellan.
McClellan, yeah, it's very similar. So to me, look, I'm excited for the game. There's a lot of angles that I'm curious of. I get why nobody else outside of the bubble maybe is that interested in the game. I don't blame you at all. If this was, Ohio State playing James Madison in a round 1 game, I probably couldn't care less. But it's my team, so I'm interested to see how they look. This is the biggest thing that I'm circling. I think Oregon has the ability now, with the pathway that they have, and then hopefully getting healthy at the right time, where you're like, man, there's a chance here. You could potentially go on a run. And the most exciting part about it is I trust their defense. I think their defense is very good. Is it the best in the country? No, but I don't think they're going to lose a game because of their defense. I think a lot of how far they will go. You look at that Texas Tech matchup, for example, that's one of the best defensive lines you're going to see all year. It's going to be a tough challenge for your offense. They now have the ability to be more multiple than they've been all season long. And so, does DeCorian play? Does he look healthy? Evan Stewart has not played a game since. Remember, he didn't play in the Rose Bowl last year against Ohio State. He hasn't played a game since the Big Ten championship game.
Now, refresh my memory. Wasn't it a little bit of a surprise he didn't
Nobody
play in the
had
Rose Bowl?
any idea that he wasn't going to play. They didn't say a peep about it.
Yeah.
He was in pads. He went through warm-ups. I think it was a back injury, and they just didn't want to push it because they didn't want to risk it. And so he sat out that game. He hadn't played since the Big Ten championship game. So that's a long time. Like, can you get him some catches? This, to me, is the ultimate opportunity that Oregon has to have a tune-up game, to just check a lot of boxes and say, okay, he looked good. All right, he's running his routes clean. Okay, these guys fit well together, and I'm with you. I think even if they do play, it'll be a snap count kind of thing. But having those guys back and the ability to now be more multiple, where you're saying, all right, we're playing a Texas Tech team with a big defensive line. Maybe we're not going to run the ball as efficiently as we would have against another team. Well, guess what? We got all of our wide receivers back. We're going to spread you out. We're going to sling the rock. We can beat you that way. Or, hey, you got a better secondary than we can maybe handle with our wide receivers. We're going to bring in 3 tight ends, and we're going to run the football, and we're going to be physical. They've never really been that diverse offensively in the time under Dan Lanning, and they couldn't be in the last month of the year because of the injuries. Now, if those guys are back, it kind of changes the equation.
Yeah, I saw a power ranking of positions with the playoff teams. How many quarterbacks do you think are better than Dante in the playoffs?
Well, Mendoza just won the Heisman, so you got to give him that.
Mendoza's definitely in that. It's an interesting case study because they weren't they weren't in the teams that had the positional advantage according to it. I think it was Texas Tech, which I was like, what? Baron Morton?
Better than Dante Moore? Baron Morton's a good quarterback, don't get me wrong.
Indiana, and I think
Indiana's
the other
fine.
one was Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about Julian Sand. I don't think he was tested that much this year. I think he's an incredibly talented young kid, and he's only going to continue to get better. I also think we saw him
give Dante Moore Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. To be honest with you, the only one that I would say definitively, like Mendoza.
What about Ty Simpson?
I think Ty Simpson's really good. I also don't. He's not in the same position that Dante Moore is in right now because they literally can't run the football. And so
that's true.
It's just
everything is kind of on Ty Simpson.
It's kind of all on you, and it doesn't have to be all on
Jan
Dante
Miller
Moore.
back for that game.
Jan Miller will play, but I believe their starting left tackle is still out for that game tomorrow night, and so their offensive line is a little banged up. I think the world of Ty Simpson. I think he's a really good quarterback, and I'd be willing to take a flyer on him in the NFL. But I wouldn't definitively go in and say he's better than Dante Moore.
What about Beck?
Beck's had a good end of his year. The last month of the season, he played really good. But are we all there on Carson Beck?
I just don't think we're all there on Mario Cristobal.
Well, but hold on.
That hurts us on Carson
When
Beck.
you say, are we all there on Carson Beck, I think sometimes we skew. What we're doing is we skew, and I'll put we as me involved. I think we skew NFL stuff into it a little bit, right? Like
That's fair. Yeah, I'm not even asking about NFL stuff.
No, I know you're not,
yeah.
but I think sometimes it gets impacted with our takeaways because Carson Beck has played well the last couple of weeks.
The last month of the season, after their loss to SMU, he was good against Syracuse. They killed them.
Yeah.
Good against NC State, 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns against Virginia Tech, and then 3 touchdowns against
Pittsburgh.
Pitt.
Yeah.
So that was the last month of their season. He was.
So at least ended on a high note, I guess.
I'm not saying he was bad.
Stockton?
I think Stockton is good for what Georgia needs him to be, but I don't think he's a better quarterback than Dante Moore.
So you really only think there's one, huh?
Yeah.
And it's only Mendoza.
I think Dante Moore, to talk about ending your season playing at a high level, I thought Dante Moore was outstanding the last month of the year. Starting with the final 2-minute drive against Iowa to win the game and keep the season alive.
Yep.
Then you play Minnesota, which go be good, and he was great in that game, set the program record for completion percentage. USC came to town outside of one throw against USC. Despite all the injuries on their offense, he threw the one pick. Outside of that, I thought he was terrific in that game.
Yep.
And then on the road in a tough environment late, again without his top wide receivers, he was outstanding and outplayed Damon Williams easily in that football game. And so I thought the last month of the season, you could make an argument there wasn't really a quarterback that was playing better football than him around the country.
Dan Lanning said something else at his press conference yesterday, and it made me think of this. And I'll tell you what it is next. 105.1, The Fan. All right, well, now I'm going to put a poll question up. If Christmas lights are overrated or properly rated.
Who says Christmas lights are overrated?
We had somebody tweet us
that they're overrated. You're
Christmas
overrated.
lights are overrated.
Get out of here with that nonsense. You cannot tell me you don't like going for walks this time of year. I judge the houses that don't have lights up. Unless I see an old walking around in there, then I'm like, all right, you get off scot-free here, okay?
I more feel bad and want to volunteer to help the old.
You want to light up
if
on
they
your
have
house?
no lights at all.
Just leave them up year-round. I'll put a strand on your gutter. You leave them right there. You're good to go.
One of our other listeners says, only shocking that his wife or he didn't hire it out.
That's the surprise
and that's why it's part of the shock.
Yeah.
His wife seems like she loves to decorate it.
You would seem to think that'd be an easy go-to. I know. Very questionable behavior out of Dan Lanning.
I know. We'll stay in the sport of football, but I want to stay in college specifically, and I want to use Dan Lanning. So yesterday we had a guy who runs the JMU sports account that's been having a lot of fun with Duck fans this week.
Yes, this is their moment in the sun, and they're enjoying every second of it, rightfully so.
Jack Fitzpatrick, who we asked, what do you expect? And he goes, we're here to have a good time, not a long time. And I love that. That's good perspective.
I'm pretty sure that's a country song.
Yeah,
I think it's a George Strait song, which is great. It's a delightful song. I love it.
I didn't pull his cut specifically from our interview, but he basically, and it was a good conversation, he was like, we have no problem being the stepping stone. We're happy to be the stepping stone because that means we're really good.
Yeah.
And so they hired Signetti. Signetti moves on. They hired Chesney. Chesney's good. He moves on. And so they'll look to hope that Billy Napier can resurrect his career at something that's humming at JMU. But JMU is coming into town this weekend against Oregon. And Lanning was asked about JMU's ability to go from one really great coach to then say, all right, it's not going to fall off. It's actually just going to stay at the same level, and it's going to get to a playoff.
And remember what, by the way, he told us yesterday, and kind of part of the question was that Signetti he took half the roster with him to Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it was so surprising that Indiana was so good, is that from that level to the Big Ten, and those guys played at that level, you wouldn't think it would translate, but he took a ton of guys with him from JMU to Indiana.
And I want to get this right, because I think Fentress was the one that asked this, and he had noted that they had brought in 100 players since Signetti left.
Totally restart the entire
That's
thing.
Crazy that many players.
Yeah.
And here was Dan Lanning on him viewing JMU and how they continue to be good.
People that adapt the best and are prepared, I think it goes back into culture is a word that's probably overused a lot in football, but in these moments when you talk about transition, obviously there has to be a culture reset and an opportunity for a bunch of guys to buy in and have a common goal. And I think, JMU certainly speaks to that of what they've been able to create, what Coach Chesney's been able to create over there with that like-minded, goals, where they're headed, guys that play really hard, leaning in on the strengths of their players. They do a great job of leaning in on what guys are really good at and building to those players' strengths. But it takes complete buy-in to create what they've been able to create over there for sure.
And, talking to the JMU cat, and I think some other fans of the same team had a takeaway, I just couldn't help but think about Oregon State here. And hearing Lanning say that, he's not saying anything we haven't heard or thought before.
No.
But it's giving credit to an institution that clearly has its ducks in a row. And right now, Oregon State, we'll see if they do. But even since hiring Jamarcus Shepard, we have found out what he makes a year and how way under the radar or under the number we thought it was.
Now, to be fair to them, that's also the same case with Bob Chesney at James Madison, where he wasn't even one of the highest paid coaches in the Sun Belt.
Did the guy come out for JMU and say we're gonna pay the highest of any other school in our conference?
I don't know. I did not follow JMU AD press conference.
I don't. I'm going to go on a bold take and say I don't think the AD at JMU was claiming to be spending the most money while spending some of the least amount of money.
Fair point.
So my stance is I think Shepard can still be good. My entire point, though, is I'm worried about the institutional support. I don't know if the president's paying attention, but the basketball team is dreadful. And the football program has just been a disaster. And now we have to wait and see if a coach can single-handedly carry it, because I don't think the leaders in that athletic department are going to give them the support they necessarily need.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I can look at the world too naively or too childlike, but one of the ways I look at Oregon State in that regard would be to say, why doesn't the athletic director come out and say, you know what, I'm making too much money, guys. We're going down a level. There's no reason I'm still paid as a Pac-12 Power 4 athletic director salary. Our football coach is making maybe the lowest amount in the conference or one of the lowest amounts in the conference after I told you he was going to be the highest paid coach in the conference. How about we put the extra $1 million into athletic budgets and see where that money can go and what it can provide us? He's never going to do that, of course, because who would willingly take a pay cut? He's not going to do it. Actually, Jim Harbaugh did, but that's a totally different conversation.
Well, him and Gundy were kind of like, hey, you're going to get fired or you take a pay cut.
Yeah, you got a choice here. I think it's a great comp, and it's a reminder that you can win at this level. James Madison being in the college football playoff is remarkable. This is their 4th year of FBS football. 4th. When Kurt Cignetti was there, he got hired in 2019. His first 3 years at James Madison, they were still an FCS school. And they went to the championship game and lost, the semifinals and lost, and the semifinals and lost. Their first year of playing FBS football was in 2022. Mm-hmm. They weren't even bowl eligible because remember that's that whole thing when you make the jump up, you can't even go to a
year
bowl.
Off.
But they went 8-3 in year one. It was like, wait, what? Out of nowhere in the Sun Belt, they won 8 games. Cignetti's second year, they won 11 games, and then Chesney last year just kept it going, and they won 9 games. And we talked to him yesterday. From James Madison, and it was basically the idea of culture sometimes can become a cliche or something that you hear and you just kind of roll your eyes at.
Sure.
And then you see examples of this and you're like, clearly there's something in the recipe that they're cooking up that is allowing this to continue because their entire roster was rated. They lost basically all of their players when Kurt Cignetti left. Chesney takes over, and you're like, all right, that guy just won 11 games last year. We're probably going to fall off the face of a cliff. And he won 9 games and then went 12-1 this year and won the conference, and now they're in the college football playoff. And so it's a reminder that if you know what you're doing behind the scenes, the landmines that are in front of you don't have to be a 5-year death sentence for your football program.
No, they don't.
They're going to lose Chesney, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if they're back in the mix to win the Sun Belt again next year.
Sure, Napier's coached at that level before. He's not unaware of how to coach
He's won in the Sun Belt. That's how he got a job in Florida, was winning in the Sun Belt.
Yeah.
So he's clearly won at this level, and they're invested. They're spending money in the right ways. They know what they're doing. The facilities are good.
They clearly can get the talent.
Talent to come to them, and it's just now the proof's in the pudding for them, despite who the coach is. Despite who comes and goes, like if I'm a player at that level and I'm looking for a place to go play, that's near the top of my list because they've won with different coaches. And so as long as you know what you're doing behind the scenes, you can figure it out. I think to your larger point, that's the biggest concern about Oregon State. I love the hire they made. I love a lot of the moves that they've made so far this offseason. Is everybody aligned behind the scenes? Because if that's not the case at your university, you're going to have a really hard time cutting through.
Well, they announced yesterday some official hires. Their general manager is officially hired. They hired officially a defensive line coach. We know they have an OC. So they're making their hires. And now you're seeing a little bit of a portal exodus, which is something we can get to later because there's other programs going through this. But you're seeing it at Oregon State today. Like there's been like 4 or 5 players that have entered the portal. I find it odd behavior from Oregon State fan to be like, what is this coach doing? And I'm like, dude, they won 2 games.
They just got there. Let's give
I
them a
don't
little
care
bit of time.
if they restart it with every player. And they won't. They'll bring some of these guys back. Maybe Walker will be able to come back for one more year.
That's an interesting one. Is he trying for another year of eligibility?
I haven't heard any latest, but it seems like he's being cryptic about it, that he'd have an ability to do it.
Lowercase, you know anything about that?
Nothing I've heard.
Why don't you get plugged in down
Damn
there?
it,
You just
Casey. I
graduated.
I hope we clean house. I hope everyone's gone.
I mean, I just see
and
these
a
players.
new era is here.
They're like, so-and-so's into the portal. I'm like, cool, man. Like, good luck to you. I don't wish animosity against
the
you.
conference they're going to play in is harder than the Sun Belt, so it's an apples to oranges
I
comparison.
agree with that, yeah.
But again, the reminder that they've brought in 100 new players in the last 2 years at James Madison, and it's worked.
If your system is good and you're a good coach,
it's also
you can
identifying
make it
talent.
work.
Like there's guys
yeah.
having an eye for it and finding the guy who's made of the right stuff with the right motivating factors goes a long ways in winning football games.
I tend to agree, and my takeaway from the JMU interview and Dan Lanning's answer is, to your point, doesn't have to be a death sentence. Why don't you have the right mindset and mentality? My only pushback is I worry that not everybody in that athletic institution has that.
You just imagine telling a JMU fan in 2019 when they're in the FCS championship game, hey, in 6 years, you're going to be in the college football playoff.
No.
Like, what? It's like everybody's just been, they shouldn't be
What if I
in,
would have told you
but-
when they expanded to 12 last year before the playoffs started? If I would have said, this thing's crazy dirt, I don't know if any of these bye teams are going to win their game, and I'll take it a step further, I wouldn't be shocked if next year we see 2 group of 5 teams in instead of
You're an idiot.
Right.
You're an idiot. There's
You
no
would have
chance.
called me an idiot.
There's no chance that happens.
I would have called myself an idiot for that opinion.
And here we are.
Let's do this. Let's pause college football talk. Let's pivot into some NFL. We got Brady Henderson at 8:15 today. He'll be our daily ticker. So we'll talk a little National Football League next, but first, lowercase with an update.
This is Dirt and Sprague. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Red Tail Golf Center's holiday sale is going on now with up to 50% off all your holiday golfing needs. Red Tail Golf Center, where we guarantee the lowest holiday prices. Visit us at golfredtail.com. First on the Fan, Thursday Night Football is in the Northwest as the Seattle Seahawks host the Los Angeles Rams in an NFC matchup with major playoff implications. Seahawks have ruled out left tackle Charles Cross, while Rams wide receiver Devontae Adams is doubtful with injuries to both his knee and his hamstring. Seattle and Los Angeles are both 11-3 coming into tonight's game, as Seattle is the 1.5-point favorite. Some more NFL news for you, as Titans quarterback Cam Ward has stated that he wants to be a part of the team's head coaching search this offseason. Tennessee fired head coach Brian Callahan back in October after a 1-5 start to the season. Your Portland Trailblazers host the Sacramento Kings tonight inside the Moda Center. Tip-off at 7 p.m. as Drew Holiday has been listed out for tonight's game, still nursing that calf injury. Ducks men's basketball walked away with a victory last night against the Portland Pilots. Final score in that one was 94-69. Kwame Evans leading the way for Oregon. He posted 21 in the contest. Ducks women's basketball will take on the Pilots this morning inside of Matthew Knight Arena. That game will tip off at 11 a.m. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network, 105.
Ho ho. No daily ticker right now, actually. It's going to be at 8:15.
We're just giving Pelican extra love. I love Pelican.
Swag is, I'm going to guess that's a Swigard production to move that there. I'm assuming that's what he did for you.
Yeah, he put it
Yeah,
there. I just forgot to move it.
No, that's
Also-
okay. I mean, he also probably shouldn't just.
I think that's where it is always in the show. That's the wrong segment anyways. It's not supposed to be till the next segment for paid.
Well, yeah. Also, like we don't have it every day at 7:30, so I don't know why
No.
he just auto puts it there.
You
we
should
should leave
just-
it blank until we need it.
Slide it in whenever.
But I don't know how any of that stuff works. So there you go.
He's waking up in a hotel somewhere in Eugene right now. That's what Swag's doing.
We will talk with Brady Henderson, ESPN. He will be at the Thursday night football game between Casey's LA Rams and your Seattle Seahawks.
You're a Rams fan now, huh? You already bolting on the Steelers? Look at you, no more black and yellow.
Can you blame him?
Not even a little.
Can't you
Now
blame
you're
him?
blue and yellow. I don't blame you, dude.
Can't you blame
The
him?
I don't blame
disrespect is
you.
crazy.
I mean, it's something about that chair producing this show. It just leads fans to jump team to team.
It does.
They don't have any core values
My
anymore.
team's about
what
to make
happened
a
to us as a
playoff.
country,
what are we doing
man?
here, folks?
Are they going to make the playoffs?
They're gonna make the playoffs.
Let's
They're going to
beat
be the Lions?
Baltimore. Let's beat
Let me
Baltimore.
ask you this, because you're a Steelers guy. Game in Cleveland in 2 weeks. Where's your confidence level in that as a win?
I
Is
said
the
no way.
division locked up?
No.
Can they lock it up this weekend?
Well,
if they lock it up
if
against
the Ravens lose,
Baltimore.
yeah.
So if the
And they
Steelers
win.
win and the Ravens
Yeah.
lose, it's over?
Yes.
Oh.
Because we already have a
No,
one-game
it's not
lead.
over. It's not over yet. Say you both lose this weekend.
I think there's no chance you lose to Cleveland, but he thinks I'm an idiot.
I think if it matters, we don't lose to Cleveland. If it's a nonsense game, we 100% lose to Cleveland.
If it matters, you beat Cleveland 13-9,
Yep.
right? Nonsense game, definitely
Yeah.
could lose that. I agree with that.
Are
Take.
you excited to watch the Steelers in the playoffs?
Aaron Rodgers has been slinging it lately. I'm
Oh,
loving
God.
it. I'm loving it. Kenny Gainwell out of the backfield.
Kenny Gainwell is
He's
great.
dangerous.
He's awesome.
great. He's your best player.
Do you
By
see the
far.
Rodgers stuff on him, by the way, yesterday? I thought it was really cool. He was like, he watched him in Philly, and he was like, how did we sign him for this in Pittsburgh? It didn't make any sense to him.
Yeah.
And he said the first day he saw him in the locker room, he was like, you know what I'm going to do for you this year, man? I'm getting you paid. You deserve more money. He said that's been his
Dude.
goal all season, is just to get him paid because he's criminally underpaid.
I forget what game it was, but I went against somebody in fantasy who had Kenneth Gainwell, and Gainwell had like a 35-point game because he just does everything for them.
Dude,
Yeah,
come
in that game,
on.
he took a fake tush push.
That's what it was.
up-
It was
up the
yeah,
side
that's
for like
right.
60
It was
yards.
is that the Raven game? No, it was who were they playing for that game?
I don't remember that one. I remember the
You
Ravens.
remember the fake tush push?
I remember the Ravens running a fake tush push with Mark Andrews. I
yeah.
remember that. I don't remember the Steelers fake tush push.
against Chicago.
Chicago, that's right. Yeah, he had a great game.
Rogers also stood up for us, the core man, yesterday. He said, get the tush push out of the game, because somebody asked him, why don't you get off the field during the tush push, or do you like
Yeah,
the
because he just stands there
He
with
just
his
stands
hands
there.
in his pocket.
He was like,
it's
dude,
a little warmer.
He basically was like, football fans don't want to watch that nonsense. I hate the play. He ain't wrong.
Dan Campbell has the opposite opinion.
You know, I love Dan
Learn
Campbell.
to stop it.
Dan Campbell's wrong.
Oh, okay.
Get it out of football.
Are you happy with the Steelers? Like, to Dirt's question, are you excited to watch them in the playoffs? Like,
There's
do you think your team
zero
can
hope.
do anything?
They're going on a run. You know that, right?
Again, a run is not what I'm looking for.
What are you looking
Win
for?
one playoff game.
What does that do for you, though?
It makes me
Snaps
keep my
a
Steeler
streak.
fandom because
Okay.
we're getting so frustrated to a point of, again, we know we can win 10 games.
Yeah.
It's, again, Mike Tomlin can win 10 games.
Right now, you guys are in that 9 area. You know what I mean? You're kind of in that 9 because you're 9-8 every
Again,
year.
but if we can win 10 games, win that first playoff game.
Remember when you guys were
got
like a
Aaron
legitimate
Rodgers.
Super Bowl powerhouse in
Year
this,
in and
in
year
this
out.
league?
Yeah.
And now you guys are like, if we could just win one wild card
Antonio
game.
Brown, Le'Veon
Oh,
Bell,
man,
Ben
you guys had it so
Roethlisberger,
good.
That
The three
defense,
Bs, man.
Neil
Three Bs.
O'Donnell, Jerome Bettis,
Neil
Todd
O'Donnell.
Haley.
Flash. You
I-
had Flash.
Where's
I was
Jerome
ta-
Bettis from again?
Detroit.
Oh, I thought that's what it was.
Coincidentally,
Notre
they won
Dame.
the Super Bowl there.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
It was nuts.
I
It's a
don't believe
homecoming.
I don't believe you.
It would be funny if you bailed for an LA team just like Swag.
Can't do it.
Yeah. Casey's got values. He's got core beliefs. He's not willing to turn his back on them.
I would agree, except two things. He admitted to using steroids yesterday,
You used steroids yesterday?
No, Rob just wanted to keep putting that
What?
on me.
and he also said he's a Yankee fan
Squeeze them damn
because
things. Make sure you got two.
Robbie Cano was really good at second base, and he became a Yankee fan in what year?
Well, I got to
How,
think.
how old was I in that year?
So what are you,
Well,
24?
That's actually a good response.
What are you, 24?
24. I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
But what year were the Yankees?
2009.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robinson Cano, best second baseman I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Dude, I did love Robinson Cano.
I hated Robinson Cano.
He was fun to watch. I mean,
I hate
there's
the Yankees.
There's validity to that for sure.
Anybody that was a Yankee, I hated you. I didn't have any soft spots for Yankees.
There was something about his swing that was really aesthetically pleasing to watch.
Best swing in baseball. I mean, I could watch that. I mean, put that on.
Look, I'm not going to make fun of him. Every kid that grows up is a front-running sports fan.
No, it was just funny that, like, coincidentally was the year.
What year you start rooting for the Braves, Sprague?
1990.
What happened that year?
1995.
What happened in 1995 in baseball? Were they in last place in the NL East?
We hoisted that flag trophy.
Oh, you had that flag trophy.
We did.
Yeah.
96, I cried because they lost to your stupid baseball team.
Right.
2-0 in that series, lost 4 straight games. Jim Liritz and his cheating ass.
Yeah, we're all the same way to a certain extent. It's either your parents or your front runner, and then either they stick or maybe you evolve or maybe
That's
you
fair.
move or that's the way we all are.
And
as
my
a kid,
pops
man.
is a Pirates fan, so
You made the right call. You made the right
not
call.
lying.
You're a Steeler fan because of you're pulling a Schultze. Schultze does this. Well, I'm a Rams fan because my dad's a Rams fan. Who's your dad root for in college? Well, he's a Beaver fan. Who do you root for? Well, the Ducks.
Yeah.
my dad's a Duck because he's from Eugene.
That's fine.
I
He's
went
a
to
beef.
Oregon State.
That's fine. School's different. Like
When you
can't-
go to the school, that's who you end up rooting
you
for.
can't force yourself to go to Oregon because your dad is an Oregon fan. If
Schulte
you can,
did not
cool.
go to Oregon.
No,
He's just a Duck fan, which is fine.
But how are you a Steeler fan because of your family, but you're not a Pirates fan?
Because he's smart.
because I like watching good baseball, and good baseball in Pittsburgh is a hard thing to come across.
The funniest thing about that, though, because you guys have this kind of in common from your fandoms, is that you rooted for the team that's won a World Series when you were young.
Yeah.
Thinking this is going to be glorious. The Yankees have not won a World Series since he was 8 years old. And the Braves went a very long time without winning another World Series.
Well, we were just constantly winning, but not
you were
winning
one.
anything. of
Every
note.
year you're
Yeah,
relevant,
right,
but in the Yankees,
right.
every year, like how many years in the last 16 years have the Yankees missed the playoffs? Probably not that many.
Not that many,
I'd
but
be
they
willing
never
to
were a
guess.
serious contender until what? 2 years ago?
Until Judge.
Judge. Yeah, that's fair. But you guys got to the World Series against the Doyers
Yeah, that didn't end well
because of Judge.
because of Freddie Freeman.
Well, and then the one that they no, the Phillies lost the World Series. No, the Phillies went back and won the next year.
Yeah,
right?
Phillies won the next year.
Won the
yeah.
next-
They
lost
beat
to the
the
Yankees
Phillies,
and
and
then
then
won-
the Phillies went back and got it. Yeah.
So that was in 2009 that they won the World Series, right? So next year ALCS, next year ALDS, next year ALCS. Missed it in 13-14.
Yep.
Back to the playoffs in 15. Missed it in 16. And then ALCS, ALDS, ALCS, ALDS, wild card, ALCS, missed the playoffs in 2023, World Series, and then last year Blue Jays.
Well, I didn't get to any of my NFL stuff there.
The NFL's going to be cool tonight.
I got little Steelers talk, I guess.
Yeah, that's some NFL. That counts.
Let's run through some scenarios that are ahead of us this weekend. We'll get to that coming up next on The Fan.
It's time for Who's Stinking It Up?
Do not go in there.
A sports lowlight, ripped from the headlines.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Schedule your appointment online at threemountainshomservices.com.
Henicle again in the open field. This will be 6 and perhaps the game for ODU. 51 yards, Quinn Henicle.
There's Dave Neal and Fozzie Whitaker on the call. ESPN Old Dominion beats South Florida in their bowl game,
Duh, we were all watching that last night.
24-10.
I was glued to it. Shocking result. Could not believe it.
How'd you do in your bowl pool on that one? Did you pick it?
I didn't do a bowl pool this year.
There's not as much buzz. It's not as exciting anymore.
Can I ask you this? Why don't we fill out brackets?
I don't know because
There's
it
not
just,
that
I
much
don't know.
variation.
There's something weird
you know.
about the playoff that's killed
Yeah.
bowl games.
Let's fill
man.
out a bracket tomorrow.
Okay,
Let's
for
do
the
it.
bowl games.
No, for the playoff.
Oh, okay, yeah, we
Why
can
don't
do that.
we do a
I'm
little
in on
bracket?
that. Yeah,
What's the
that sounds
bracket
fun.
challenge?
Yeah, well, everybody's gonna pick the same teams.
Oh, will you? Maybe I have Tulane winning. You never know.
Who's stinking it up? South Florida in their bowl game against ODU. Brought to you by our friends at Three Mountains Home Services, who want you to save big with this timely furnace tune-up special. $59 furnace tune-up. Don't delay schedule. The valuable service today at threemountainshomservices.com. They make home services delightful. right, welcome back in. I enjoyed the social media post. I guess a JMU fan decided to take the train from D.C. to Eugene, Oregon.
Dude, how long is
Have
that?
you seen this?
No, how long does that take?
It takes a couple days, but he basically said they got to Montana and then things started to go awry. And you can go find it online. It's pretty interesting. He does like a vlog on it.
Yeah,
It's
every
like,
stop of the way.
not good right now, man. Car's on fire. I don't really know that, but he got delayed in Montana, but I think he's going to make it.
Maybe there was some bison on the track. You got to get the animals out of the way.
National Football League, we've got Brady Henderson coming up in the third hour. Big Thursday night football game up in Seattle with the Rams coming to town.
Very excited for tonight, man.
Doesn't look like there's going to be any left tackle for Seattle or wide receiver for the Rams.
Yes, a little banged up on each side.
So
Short week.
A little troubling.
Seahawks are wearing their Oregon uniforms, which is very nice of them to pay homage to us.
Will Puka Nacua get more calls tonight or less calls for basically calling the refs celebrities?
Dude, what a weird 48 hours for him. He's on a podcast criticizing officials, saying weird out-of-pocket stuff, and then his brother stole the car of a Laker player?
Not great for the Nacuas.
Like what? Was that like a joke? And then the player didn't know? I have a lot of follow-up questions that I don't know.
Well, we have playoff clinching scenarios this weekend.
We do. There's a lot of them.
How can the Bills clinch the playoffs, you might be asking?
I would love to know that answer.
If they win and a Houston loss, but Houston will not lose because they play Vegas. So if they win and the Colts lose to the Niners, the Bills are in.
It's a very, very likely scenario. Not guaranteed, but likely scenario.
Now, we've clinched the Bills in our minds, right?
Yes, the Bills are a playoff team. You tell me, look, there's just something about, maybe this is because I've been bit by the Browns, both gambling on them and against them. They're just a weird team. I know they're very good defensively at home. Mm-hmm. I think Buffalo will win that game, but we also saw Green Bay go on the road to Cleveland and lose a game to Joe Flacco.
The Broncos clinched the AFC West with a win and a Charger loss at the Cowboys.
Yep.
And they clinched the 1 seed with the Charger loss and New England loss at Baltimore.
And I wouldn't be surprised if New England lost that game. I'll be curious their hangover level. Dallas is a little banged up, but we know offensively they can get it going. It's not like the Chargers are blowing anybody out. They've been low-scoring, ugly games. We'll see if they can get their offense going this week. And fun, back-to-back, really fun test for the Broncos to go from, hey, you just beat the Packers, what a great win, and now here come the Trevor Lawrence is playing as good as anybody in the NFL over the last month.
Yeah.
He's coming to town this weekend.
I'm fascinated by that game because I think Denver is clearly the better team, but I guess I'm probably underselling the Jags. They've had a good season. They're 10-4. They beat my team. Maybe they'll prove me wrong this weekend, but I certainly believe Denver will win. Now, will they win in blowout fashion? I don't know if I go that far, but I'll be curious to see how Nix plays this week versus what he was this past weekend, and then also what can Jacksonville scheme up to hang around in that one. They clinched the playoffs with either that Houston loss or the Colts loss.
Yeah,
so they're in.
They're in the playoffs. It does get interesting if the Chargers win in Dallas this weekend and the Broncos somehow lose at home to Jacksonville.
The window of winning the AFC West is a little open.
And they still got Denver on the schedule. And they got to go to Denver, which good luck against that front with your offensive line.
They beat them before, though.
I know, but that was I think Joe Alt played in that game. And to be fair, every Charger game is a road game, so there were more Bronco fans there than there were not, but this one's on the road.
Chargers in with the same scenario. Colts lose to the Niners, and the Chargers are also in. The Patriots win or the same scenario, the Colts and the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
So the Patriots are in as well. The Bears one is the most there's still a lot up in the air. So they play Green Bay this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
That is
it's the same time as the Duck
5:30 game. That's right. It's on the same time. They clinch a playoff berth with a win and Detroit losing to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they need Detroit to lose at home.
Same scenario for Green Bay, just the reverse. The Eagles clinch the NFC East with a win or a Dallas loss.
Yeah.
I think that's a wrap. I think the Eagles are going to win their division.
Yep.
The Niners against the Colts clinch with a win or a Lion loss. I think the Niners are in.
Yep.
And the Seahawks, they're in a divisional race and a 1-seed race right now.
All of it's still in front of them.
All of them is in front of them. They win or the Lions lose, and they clinch at least a minimum a playoff spot. So those are your clinching scenarios for all the teams right now that are involved in the playoff race. And I know you got some outside looking in guys. Baltimore is obviously one of those teams, but they're more in a divisional race to make it and not so much the wild card. So that's all the clinching scenarios we have going into week 16.
Tonight is where things start to get really interesting. If the Rams win, you're kind of like, all right, there you go. There's your likely 1 seed in the NFC. They basically, it's all done. Division's over. It's like all of that. Just settle it, and then we'll see how the rest of it falls in place. If they lose, I think it sends you down that road of, this is going to get weird, man. Because all of a sudden, as we brought up earlier in the week, if Seattle wins tonight, that's huge for them in the division. It's huge for them to try and get the number 1 seed. It also opens the door for San Francisco to control their own destiny. They get Seattle at home at the end of the year with a chance to win that game. They got Chicago still on the schedule. So it just, tonight is kind of the first domino to fall of like, does it all just kind of go the way it looks like it's going to go right now? Or do we get some weird wonky stuff over the final 3 weeks of the regular season?
Yeah, you can't count on much in the NFL in terms of guarantees, but you can always count on Sundays, the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started. Loaded third hour of the program. We have more NFL, including Brady Henderson at 8:15. There is a child college football fan that might be Dirt's future kid and what he does at a musical play. I don't know if Dirt saw that story. It's delightful. We'll talk some college football as well. Loaded third hour. Dirt and Sprague 105.1, The Fan.
Legendary.
Brought to you by video only. KRSK Portland, KRSK FM HD1 Malala, Oregon, The Fan and Odyssey Sports Station. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This sports update is brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, Thursday Night Football is in the Northwest as the Seattle Seahawks host the Los Angeles Rams in an NFC West matchup. That game is going to have major playoff implications. Seahawks have ruled out left tackle Charles Cross, while the Rams' Devontae Adams is doubtful with injuries to both his knee and his hamstring. Both Seattle and Los Angeles coming in at 11-3, and Seattle comes in as 1.5-point favorites. Some more NFL news for you, as Titans quarterback Cam Ward has stated that he wants to be a part of the team's head coaching decision this search for the offseason. A head coach search this offseason. Tennessee fired head coach Brian Callahan back in October, and after a 1-5 start to the season. Your Portland Trailblazers host the Sacramento Kings tonight inside the Moda Center. Tip-off at 7 p.m. as Drew Holiday has been ruled out for tonight's game, still nursing that calf injury. Ducks men's basketball walked away with a victory last night against the Portland Pilots. Final score in that one was 94-69. Kwame Evans leading the way for the Ducks. He posted 21 in the contest. Ducks women's basketball will take on the Pilots this morning inside of Matthew Knight Arena. That game will tip off at 11 a.m. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Dirt and Sprague.
It's time to nut up or shut up.
With Andy Dirt Johnson.
Let's open up the whole can of kick ass and kill them all.
And Brandon Sprague.
Let the paramedics sort them out.
Ducks versus Dukes.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
This is
Hey, welcome back in hour number 3. Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody.
Take your hands and put it down your pants, son. Here we go, man. Here we go.
Got a lot to get to this hour of radio. Brady Henderson will join us coming up 15 minutes from now. We'll talk to him about the big Thursday night tilt in Seattle. Is he on his boat? We'll find out. And then I would like to talk about that game. Some people are saying it's
Time to nut up or shut up.
Yeah.
time for Sammy D. Can Sammy D nut up or shut up tonight?
I think if you were to evaluate the quarterback landscape for this weekend and counting tonight, nobody has more pressure on them to perform at a good to great level than him.
Ooh, that's a good question to throw at Brady right out of the gate. A lot on the line.
Well, I don't even know who else would be in the running in that category.
Well, based on your comments on Trevor Lawrence, can he be that in Denver this weekend?
I don't have the Jags as a Super Bowl contender, so no.
To the point, though,
He can play well, yeah. He
if
certainly
they
can
beat
make me
Denver
think.
in Denver and he plays well, does that change your mind?
No.
Not at all.
No. Because
Okay.
I think Denver has been flirting too much with one-loss or one-score situations.
Okay.
So I view it more like
Scroll.
they might be due for a stinker.
Let's see here. Who else can I throw at you? Is there anybody else? Not really.
I mean, that
what
was
about
your-
Caleb? What about Caleb against Green Bay?
No, because Caleb's year 2.
Yeah, he's
Like
younger.
they've already had a positive season. Well, if you don't want to see him play poorly, obviously, but
Could go to 0-2 against the Packers.
yeah, and it took him a minute to get going in that last game against Green Bay. I think the best possible answer to combat what I said is the quarterback you mentioned, but.
Yeah, that's the only one that comes. And I think you're right. Sam Darnold has a little more on the line than Lawrence, but I do find it funny that we view him that way because Lawrence is a number 1 overall pick,
I know.
franchise guy for his organization. He's got they have one playoff win, right? The
So-
27-point
One
comeback.
playoff win.
So
Yeah,
in that scenario, you're telling me Lawrence has like a 300 or 280-plus yard game, multiple
I'm just saying
touchdowns,
they
no
win and
picks,
he
right?
plays well.
Yeah.
And like that, talking about things to gain or to lose,
Sure.
I think if they lose, there's not as much to lose because a lot of people are in the same line of thinking as you on Lawrence and the Jags. And to be honest, I'm kind of right there with you.
Yeah.
Although he has played really well over the last month, and I want to give him credit for that. It's more about what he has to gain by a win. Because if he goes in, like Denver's defense is unbelievable. That's a tough place to go play. And if he goes in there and he's 68% completion, 280, 3 tuds, no picks.
yeah.
And you're like, they won the game because of the way Trevor Lawrence played.
Yep.
That to me has the ability to open eyes of like, man, the AFC, what have we said about the AFC?
It's wide open.
Wide open.
Feels open-ish.
Josh Allen's the best player in the AFC,
Yep.
but his team is incredibly flawed.
Mm-hmm.
Denver's got a great defense, and Houston's got a great defense, and their quarterbacks have played well at times, both coming off an absolute gem of a game against Green Bay, but there's been moments where they've been up and down and haven't been perfect. The Chargers don't have an offensive line. Nobody's scared by the Steelers. Like,
The scariest team might be the 7 seed
it very well could be.
because of their defense.
It very well could be.
I
So that's the only reason I'll throw Lawrence into that mix. But I agree with you ultimately that Darnold has a lot to lose.
that's a fair one, and I'm starting to have to like rethink how I would react to watching Trevor Lawrence light up the Denver defense and get a win on the road.
It's one thing if they go in there and win, and it's, Denver's maybe coming off of a high of a Green Bay game, and Bo plays a little clunky, maybe turns a couple turnovers, and it's like 17-13.
Well, do you view the NFC as open as the AFC?
I do not.
You don't.
I don't.
So who are the teams then that you're saying?
Now I'm thinking about it in my head. Maybe I do.
Because Devontae Adams' injury is a massive part here. He had a lot of touchdowns. He's having a good year. It's not that Stafford and them can't win without him. It's more just like, oh, there's one less weapon. Nakua's been seemingly getting hurt every game, and just most of the games he's staying in somehow.
You know what? I'll retract that statement. I do think the NFC's is open. I will retract that statement.
Yeah, because the Rams might be the favorite for people.
And they should be the favorite for people.
But let's see what they do tonight. And then also, if Sam Darnold doesn't play well, because I look at the AFC.
I should do the segment now. I love it. Let's get into it, baby.
Well, no, I think it's not even so much about just the game.
Yeah.
This is about like the playoff picture and the feelings and thoughts of the scope of it, right? Like the AFC right now, Denver very well could just go through the playoffs and show we were the number one wagon all year. We deserve this.
You got to come through Denver in order to get anywhere, and you ain't winning in our building.
Last Sunday's second half is why people think the Patriots will stub their toe in the playoffs. It's just young quarterback, defense played well, they struggled as an offense, and they couldn't get a stop against the best player in football.
What did they lean on when they need to in a playoff game?
Hope that Trayvon Henderson breaks out of a big scrum and just busts a touchdown.
Because that's the thing with Denver. It's like if they need to lean on something, they got a defense that they can lean on to win them a game.
Yeah, 100%.
And Bo just played unbelievable, but I know
had some of those
games,
games, right? They've had a lot of those games where Bo's not played as well, and the defense has led them.
They also have, I believe, the highest rated offensive line in the NFL.
Houston's defense is the number one, but the offense, I don't know if people are ready to trust it. I think it's more of if Lawrence plays well, I don't know what to do with that. Is that going to be Denver is due for another? Like, is Denver just going to be 15-2?
Yeah, they're just going to keep steamrolling everybody.
They're just going to be a 15-2 team this year. Yeah. Maybe they very well could. But I don't know if I still put Jacksonville. It'd be more about was Denver due a loss than it would be about Jacksonville. And whether that's fair or not, we have to wait and see on it. Whereas Darnold plays well against the Rams, people are going to say, well, he didn't play well, and they damn near won the game in L.A., and so look past L.A. Who's in their way? Because they'll host. They could potentially be the number one seed, so they get the bye.
It could be.
And then you look through it and you say, well, nobody in the NFC can guard Smith and Jigba. Maybe you trust the Philadelphia Eagles because they won it, but not a lot of people would say that.
Packers were that team, and now Parsons is done for the year.
Which everybody now in the pundit industry is basically saying they're Green Bay from last year.
Yeah.
Watson's hurt, right? He's banged up, and he'll probably come back. But Parsons is done. You don't have an elite pass rusher now. So
there's not a lot of belief in Chicago, despite the great season that they're having.
San Francisco is just this is magic. I don't even know how they're doing this.
And two of your division winners are the Eagles and the Buccaneers,
and nobody buys the NFC South. So to my point is like it could go a long way for Lawrence from a confidence standpoint. I don't know if it changes how people feel about the Jags in contention. Where I think people would look at Seattle if they win tonight and Darnold plays fine.
Yes,
I think people will go, yeah, dude, should be a favorite in the conference.
Let me ask you guys this, because I was thinking about this when you were rattling off playoff scenarios in the NFL. This team wins, that team loses, they clinch. Right now, outside of the playoff picture, so the top 7 in the playoffs in the AFC and the top 7 in the NFC, do we have anybody that makes the playoffs that isn't in the picture right now? So your candidates would be
Baltimore.
I mean, so do you think Baltimore's going to win the North? I'm asking, do you think we have teams that actually do it?
Ooh,
because I know teams have the chance to do it.
Feel confident.
You would feel confident saying because right now your candidates are the Colts or the 8 seed. They got the Niners at home on Monday night.
I don't feel great about the Colts, and I very well think they could win Monday.
Okay, Ravens in the AFC North. They have to win the division in order to get in.
That's the biggest point.
And in the NFC, you would have the Panthers, who are currently behind because of tiebreaker behind the Buccaneers.
Yeah, they're live.
Do you think the Panthers are going to win this weekend though? That's what I'm asking. Not can they? Who do you think? Teams from outside the window right now do it. So it would be the Lions, the Panthers, technically the Cowboys,
I think
the Ravens or the Colts. You think Detroit will?
I think Detroit could because, I mean, you take a game from Pittsburgh back, say Green Bay or Chicago loses this week. Now you're one game behind, and you have a division game against the Bears to end your season.
There's a
Detroit is the team. Yeah, you know what? If
Detroit's
I was
the team you would gamble on.
well, God, dude, this you're
Because
pressing
we're
me
all
on a
going to
tough
pick them to
one.
win the Steelers. We're all going to pick them to beat the Steelers this weekend. No offense, Casey, but
again,
we'll pick them to win that game.
I'm with you there.
And
It's at Detroit or Pittsburgh?
It's at Detroit.
At Detroit. Okay.
I don't think anybody would be surprised. Now, maybe it's unfair to them. I don't think anybody would be surprised if the Packers find a way to beat the Bears again. So if that happens all of a sudden, that's totally live. Because that game now in Week 18 is Bears and Lions, and the winner of the game
Gets a playoff spot.
and might win the division, depending if Packers win. We'll see
what Green Bay does. I hate the team, but I have you saw about picking a side. Detroit, I would say, okay, outside looking in could make it. Yeah, I'm willing to go there.
Okay.
I hate the Panthers, but the Bucks have been terrible, and that division sucks. And they play each other 2 of the last 3 weeks.
They play in this weekend. Game 1 of the 2-game series is this weekend.
And I'm going to pick
in
Tampa to
Carolina.
win this weekend because it's in Tampa, and Carolina's not a good road team. But then I just looked it up. Carolina's
What's the
game
game in
between
between?
it is Seahawks,
Oh.
who will still be playing
Yes.
to clinch the 1 seed, and they're hosting the Seahawks, so they're a better team at home. But Seahawks on the road might be better than at home.
And the Bucks in between the Panthers game get Quinn Ewers and the Dolphins. Now, they just lost to Tyler Shuck and the Saints and Kirk Cousins and the Falcons.
Yeah, there is no reason to feel good about the Bucks.
Nothing is a guarantee for Tampa. I'm just telling you who they are playing.
I'll say the Lions, and
Lions the only one, so you think we only get one from the outside in? Because I think that's
I'm not
the
ready
only
to
one
punt
I'm
on the
picking.
Ravens. If that's the if that Raven team we saw last weekend,
Is that the Ravens?
after watching what happened on Thanksgiving, and then to play the same team a couple weeks later and to
Kill 'em.
blank them and look as dominant as they did,
Smoked them.
yeah, dude, I'm sorry, lowercase. I think your team could be 9-8 and they get to be like, we're over 500, but you don't win the division. I think that is absolutely there.
Ravens get the Steelers, or excuse me, the Ravens get the Patriots this weekend.
Yeah, so again, the Steelers still stay a game ahead of you.
Well,
I'm
can
okay
the
with
Ravens
that.
beat the Patriots?
No.
Wait,
Oh.
why can't they beat the Patriots?
That
The
was a
Ravens
quick
have
no.
possibly the worst right guard in all of football,
Okay.
and Mike Vrabel will eat that offensive line for breakfast.
And if that Raven defense is the Raven defense now,
That's our Sunday night
that
football game
Raven
this weekend.
defense is only getting older and playing worse. Like they played Cincinnati last week. Like
is Cincinnati's offense terrible? Did I miss the memo there?
Joe Burrow's thrown interceptions to D linemen every
Okay.
year of his career.
He was having one of his best games of his life against Buffalo till that pick.
Cincinnati didn't score a point.
Right. That's my argument for Baltimore. The defense was amazing last weekend. To blank them, you didn't have Cincinnati scoring 0 points. I didn't.
Not at all.
I gambled on the Bengals to win the game. Of course, I didn't have them scoring 0 points. I took them to win and cover.
You also hate the Ravens because you're a Steeler fan.
A little bit of bias
and
over there.
the Ravens, just like the Steelers, are known to lose games that they should win.
It's a huge swing this weekend because I don't think the Steelers will win in Detroit. Now, maybe we're wrong there because Detroit's also not a team that we should have a lot of confidence in. Let's not act like Detroit didn't almost lose at home to Jameis Winston and the Giants, right? That's who they've been all year. I think that Sunday night football game's fast. How does New England respond coming off the loss and blowing a 21-point lead to Buffalo at home?
Dude, that offense in the second half got just
Outside of one long run from Henderson,
man.
which he
and
broke.
that's a fluky-ish
And
score,
May's out
right?
there,
It's
your
like,
leading
oh.
blocker, and you're like,
Yeah.
all right. I mean, it's a great play. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't a lot of consistency from the offense in the second
You
half.
don't draw that play up every weekend.
No.
You know?
So, interesting weekend, man. I can't wait. Let's go to
Who would you pick outside?
the only one that I would take is Detroit. They're the only one. I think they beat Pittsburgh this weekend. I think Chicago loses again to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think which would just be devastating for Bears fans. If they don't make the playoffs this year, after the year that they've had, winning 10 games and maybe not make, because they got to go to San Francisco next week, which is not easy for them. So they got a really tough schedule the rest of the way. Let's go to tonight's game. Massive game in Seattle. Does Brady Henderson agree with the idea on Darnold and what is on the line for him tonight? ESPN Seahawks reporter joining us next on 105.1 FM The Fan. Our great friends at Pelican Brewing Company, you better watch out because Bad Santa's coming to town. Today's Daily Ticket brought to you by Pelican Brewing, celebrating the season with Bad Santa Cascadian Dark Ale. Massive game on Thursday Night Football tonight, Amazon Prime. Joining us now is our good friend, Seahawks reporter for ESPN, Brady Henderson, at Brady Henderson on Twitter. Go give him a follow there. Is Brady Henderson a fan of the new look jerseys the Seahawks are wearing tonight?
No, I'm not. I'm not. And I can tell you that a couple days before the big reveal, I was sitting in the media room, and I told the other reporters, I was like, guys, I got a feeling these jerseys are going to suck.
Yeah.
And, I'm not a fan. Now, I know some people down there might like them because they seem to have quite a bit of Oregon inspiration to them. But, now, believe it or not, they did not consult me on the design of these jerseys. But if they had, I feel like I could come up with something a lot better.
It looks like a Temu Oregon jersey is what it looks like.
I always love how complicated they have to make it too, of like, the lines actually represent the sound waves or this, what the crowd is like. Nobody cares.
There's always
man.
those backstories.
Just give me a good
Yeah.
jersey. I don't need a bullet point or a plan about how these things look. Does any quarterback have more to gain or lose this weekend than Sam Darnold?
Yeah, I mean that's a fair question. I mean he's going to be their quarterback next season, I think, regardless of what happens in this game. But there is whatever level the narrative is at right now that the Rams defense has his number. He can either put an end to that or another loss, especially another loss in the fashion that it's been the last two times for him. That would make that an unmistakable, maybe an undeniable narrative. So you're talking about like the 9, not just the 4 interception performance he had last month at SoFi Stadium, but the 9 sack debacle in the playoffs last season when he was with the Vikings. So it looks like the Rams defensive coordinator, Chris Shula, who, by the way, might be a head coaching candidate here in a few weeks, it looks like he has found a way to really get to Sam Darnold. And, Darnold, after that game last month, he tipped his cap to the Rams for how well they disguised some of their shell coverages, but he also said he needed to do a better job of, getting through his progressions and not locking onto one side of the field. Now, if you go back to that game, that was only the second game that they had played with Rashid Shaheed. So if you're looking for a reason to be optimistic that this time is going to be different for Darnold, I mentioned that one reason he was locking onto his receivers in that game is that he didn't really feel confident about the next guy in the progression. Well, Shaheed has really come on over the last couple weeks, 9 catches, 141 yards, including the 2 big catches on that game-winning drive last week. So I think in theory, it seems like it would be easier for Darnold to trust, his progressions. And if this guy isn't there, well, guess what? You got Rashid Shaheed as the next guy in the progression, and he's been on fire lately.
I'm kind of curious, Brady. You go back to the first half against the Falcons, and I know the second half was a different story. And then you go to the Colts game last week. And what have you noticed about the offense that's put them in these either momentary lulls or a whole game's worth of just cannot quite convert, settling for long field goals? What is it about the Seahawk offense that you're noticing last couple weeks?
Yeah, it's really strange because we've seen this offense show the ability to just light up the scoreboard and to just score in chunks. And, this team has, I think, 5 wins this season that have come by 22 or more points. We've seen them just blow teams out with an offense that looks like it can't be stopped. And then, the last month or so, really starting with that Rams game, I think the problem that's developed is that they just tend to, for whatever reason, they tend to kind of sleepwalk out of the gate. So that was the 4th time, that Colts game, that was the 4th time in the last 5 weeks that they did not score offensively 10 points in the first half. And, for a lot of teams, that wouldn't really be that big of a deal. But you're talking about one of the highest scoring offenses in general in the NFL that just can't really get out of its own way in the first halves of games. Now, you can get away with that when you're facing Max Brosmer in his first NFL start or, Kirk Cousins, who at this stage of his career, is sort of like fringe starter backup. And you can barely get away with it against 44-year-old Phillip Rivers coming off the couch playing for the first time in 5 years. But, they didn't get away with it against Stafford and the Rams last month. And if there's one thing that looks like it could really come back to bite this team in the playoffs, it's, you put up a clunker in the first half against a team with a really good quarterback, you're all of a sudden maybe asking your defense to do a whole lot. You're putting yourself behind the 8 ball. So something they got to get figured out.
Well, we're going into Thursday Night Football. We're talking to Brady Henderson, Seahawks reporter for ESPN, good friend of the program, at Brady Henderson on Twitter. Go give him a follow. Big one in Seattle tonight. Thursday Night Football can be clunky from time to time. You know, I'm somebody who just kind of believes shouldn't really exist because teams are so banged up unless you're getting to buy before. But, hey, I'm going to watch just like millions of others, and I'm very excited for the game. But on that note, I'm just curious, like we know a lot about Devontae Adams. Where are we at health-wise for the Seahawks going into this game off of that tighter than expected going in game against the Colts this past weekend?
Yeah, I mean, for a Thursday night game, their injury report did look pretty clean. The only guy with an injury designation is Charles Cross, who's not going to play in this game. Now, the problem is Cross is probably one of their 3 or 4 most important players on their entire team, as is the left tackle. That's going to be the case, I think, on a lot of teams. But, that's a big absence for them. And, we'll see Josh Jones start in this game. There's nothing against Josh Jones. It's just the nature of the NFL that there's not a whole lot of teams that feel really good about their 6th offensive, like their swing tackle. There's probably not a whole lot of teams that feel really good about both of their starting tackles. So point is there's just not enough good offensive linemen to go around to where really any team is going to feel good about losing its left tackle, especially in a game like this against a defense like the Rams that, among other teams, has shown that they can really get after quarterbacks. And so that is going to be a big loss for them. And you got to wonder how much that's going to force them to adjust. Maybe you see the ball, come out of Sam Darnold's hands a little bit quicker, which he was doing, I think, early in the season. He has kind of held on to the ball a little bit more as the year has progressed. But one thing you're guaranteed to see them do, and this is kind of a staple of Clint Kubiak's offense, is get the quarterback out of the pocket. I thought, he could have done a little bit more of that in the first half against Indianapolis. Started to see it in the second half, I think, kind of as a response to all the pressure that Darnold was facing. But, get him out of the pocket, and make him a moving target. I think Kubiak's generally going to want to do that anyways, but when you're missing your left tackle, I think you have to do that in this game.
Reached out to have you on earlier this week and ended up working out perfect for us because you hop on the day of the game. I'm curious, you were hosting a show 7 to 10, and it's one thing for us to ask questions, and maybe you get off, you go, they didn't ask me about this or that. It was that and the other stuff. I'm curious, as a host, what was most interesting for Brady Henderson as a show host talking about this big game?
Well, yeah, so I was filling in on the morning show of the ESPN affiliate out here. And, it was my first time getting to talk to Mike McDonald in that setting. So McDonald, that show, they have the Mike McDonald show from 9:30 to 10 every Monday after games. And so, that was – it wasn't all that different. He was, I think, the only guest we had on the show that day. So, it kind of just felt like it was, it was in – like I was in the media room asking him questions. I think the difference is on the radio is you get a little bit more time to, build up a question in the press conference setting. I'm not going to make all my media colleagues suffer through a long windup of my questions the way I will make the listening public suffer through that.
Which of these this is a dumb radio host question. Let's try this one. Which of these 3
he's a dumb radio host.
Now you're in our team. Let's see how this flies. Which of these will have the biggest impact on the game tonight?
Ooh.
Puka Nacua saying on a YouTube stream that refs only call fouls because they want attention and they suck. His brother stealing a car or the team plane getting delayed. And I'm assuming they're in Seattle at this point, but it sounded like they were on the tarmac for about 8 hours yesterday.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Now, God, it's not a long flight, compared to other flights that, teams like the West Coast teams are going to have. And so, getting in a couple hours later than intended is probably not going to change a whole lot for them. They had it's not like they were going to hit the ground and get on the practice field or anything. So I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I think the biggest one is one you didn't mention. It's Sean McVay, his wife giving birth to their second child.
Right. Good point.
No sleep.
Yeah. So this guy, I don't know how much coaches like him, and McVay is, coaches have a reputation as being just grinders. Right. And McVay is absolutely that. I don't know how much he's sleeping in the first place, but if there's any personal distraction that could get in the way of your preparation, on a short week like this. It's probably your wife giving birth to your kid. And so, as I'm battling a sneeze here, hang on.
Wait, hold it. Oh, good one.
Bless you.
That was a good one. Yeah. So, it's funny. Puka Nacua was complaining about the refs. I think Mike McDonald and the Seahawks probably feel the same way about the refs after that game last week. There was a number of calls that did not go their way, and I imagine that, McDonald may have been nodding along as he heard Puka Nacua say that.
Let's do a quick review here. One, how did you feel like your performance went 7-10? And then two, kind of a two-parter two, what did you like about doing a radio show, and what did you not like about doing a radio show?
Well, I will go back to something that Pete Carroll used to say. Whenever like a guy would have to step in, like a backup would have to step in, like in an emergency situation, filling in for an injured guy. And like, we would ask Pete, like, hey, how did this guy do? And Pete, sometimes like the only thing that Pete could say was, well, he made it through. Like, and what he was basically saying is he made it through the end of the game without like disaster striking. And so that's the way I sort of view my radio performance was, I made it through. I don't know if I really made the show all that better, but I avoided disaster, and I sort of like the game manager at quarterback.
Okay.
And then the other question was what?
Just like what you liked about radio, what you hated about the radio. Like sometimes we get frustrated because we have these clocks. We got here's a 9-minute segment. We're talking and it's 12 minutes and we're getting yelled at. So like the clock can be a little annoying for us. Just if you're in the groove of a conversation, it feels weird to abruptly end it. I'm just curious what you didn't like about doing it.
The only thing I didn't like about it was, it's a 7 to 10 show. And, for that one, I hosted it at the Seahawks facility. So normally the studio is like 5-10 minutes away from where I live. That one, that's a bit of a drive. So the only thing I didn't like was having to get up at 5 o'clock to, finish my prep. And obviously that was the morning after a game. So I'm up late the night before, working late. So it was great. I love doing it. It's some extra, golf money in my pocket and, a cool chance to interview the head coach of the team in a different setting than I normally do.
Well, we always love chatting with him. Brady Henderson sounds like he's battling a cold, but nothing's going to hold him down tonight.
He makes our show better.
He makes our show better every time we have him on, and he'll be in the, what's the stadium now? Is it the Clink? What's there?
Lumen,
that's right. Lumen will be in Lumen tonight for Seahawks and Rams.
I still like the Clink.
I miss the Clink. The Clink was great. At Brady Henderson on Twitter, Seahawks reporter for ESPN. Enjoy the game tonight. Hopefully catch up on a little bit of sleep, and let's do this again soon.
All right, thanks for having me, fellas. We'll do it again.
There you go. Brady Henderson of ESPN.
One of our favorites.
Love him. He's got the right take on their jerseys.
It's terrible. The Seahawks fans hate this jersey.
As they should, because it's copying Oregon.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody disputes it. It's like, dude, what are we doing? We're in Seattle, and you're copying Eugene?
You see our unis yesterday?
Isn't it just the same as the green, right?
It's green and yellow, baby.
I mean, are you happy you're wearing your colors?
It's a big game. We're wearing school colors.
I thought you guys might be silver and chrome.
I want to give them a trophy just for doing that.
Black on black. Can't even tell the number.
Don't worry. We'll save those for the bigger games. We'll get our all silver on in Miami on New Year's Day.
What would you do if they got to the championship and you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah,
and they come out in the old school mid-90s uniform.
Give me a second here.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to throw that at you.
Take your hands and put it down your pants, son. Squeeze them damn things. Make sure you got two.
I mean, you can't do that in public because you might be at that game.
I could be at that game, but I'll go in the bathroom.
The bathroom?
Brady Henderson, great stuff. Thursday Night Football tonight. Very excited. You guys want? Let's talk a little bit about this game.
Talk about the game.
We kind of adjacently talked about the game.
Yeah.
Let's specifically talk about the game.
Yep.
Seahawk fan, where are you at on this one? I'm curious. Where is Seahawk fan at on Sam Darnold? He's had an interesting year. It's great at the start. The 4-pick game. The numbers are not terrible when you look at the season he's had. They've had a good year as a team. Where are you at on Darnold? How much can he impress you tonight? We'll dive into that one next. The Daily Ticker is always brought to you by our great friends at Pelican Brewing. Go get my favorite beer, Bad Santa, at a store near you. That is to come. But first, here's Casey with SportsCenter.
This is Dirt and Sprague. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This sports update is brought to you by Langdon Farms Golf Club. Good or bad weather, the golf course is always the driest around. Download the Langdon Farms app today to get all the latest news and specials. First on the Fan, Thursday night football is in the Northwest as the Seattle Seahawks host the Los Angeles Rams in an NFC West matchup with major playoff implications. The Seahawks have ruled out left tackle Charles Cross, while Rams wide receiver Devontae Adams is doubtful with injuries to both his knee and his hamstring. Both Seattle and Los Angeles coming into this game at 11-3, and Seattle comes in as 1.5-point favorites. Some more NFL news for you as Titans quarterback Cam Ward has stated that he wants to be a part of the team's head coaching search this offseason. Tennessee fired head coach Brian Callahan back in October after a 1-5 start to the season. Your Portland Trailblazers host the Sacramento Kings tonight inside the Moda Center. Tip-off at 7 p.m. as Drew Holiday has been listed out for tonight's game, still nursing that calf injury. Ducks men's basketball walked away with a victory last night against the Portland Pilots. Final score in that one was 94-69. Kwame Evans leading the way for Oregon. He posted 21 in the contest. Finally, Ducks women's basketball will take on the Pilots this morning inside of Matthew Knight Arena. That game will tip off at 11 a.m. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football. The Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Hey, Darren Sprague here, sticking around for our good friends at Trajan Wealth. Did you know? 1 week away. The countdown has begun. 1 week from today, we were at Christmas. This holiday season, what better gift could you find than peace of mind of a tailored investment?
he'd say.
Big one Thursday Night Football tonight, which, hey, by the way, you can hear right here on the Fan.
What?
Did you know that? Did you know we're the home of the Seahawks?
I did.
That's how they'll be singing if Darnold wins and they don't throw 4 picks. I asked Seahawks fans, how you feeling about Sammy D? Big one for him tonight. And wanted to read some thoughts here. Fan text line, 503-864-6326. How about this one? It's Sam Darnold pumpkin season.
Oh.
PFF grades since J.J. McCarthy returned week 9. McCarthy 66.4, Darnold 62.9.
Okay, so I liked advanced analytics, but I do find myself growing to be a little old manish with some of these.
Me too.
So like EPA is a big one for the football nerds.
Yes, it is.
Would you care to guess who is a minus 13 in EPA this year versus where they were coming into the year, and who's a plus 4 in EPA?
Oh.
From where they were coming into the year to now?
It's like Josh Allen a minus 13.
So Mike Sando wrote this updated quarterback tiers article because he went through the preseason where we had him, right?
Yes, I love a good quarterback tier.
He has your guy, Justin, in the quarterback 2 tier.
How dare he? Offensive.
He had him preseason.
Oh, okay.
Dak Prescott is also. Justin Herbert's a minus 13. And Dak is a plus 4.
Okay. From where they were last year?
Where they were going into the year versus what they've done this year.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
EPA.
EPA.
What's your EPA today? Another one, Sam Darnold, easy. Pleasantly surprised. Another one, Darnold is exactly what I expected. Didn't excite me when we picked him up, and I'm still here. He's fine.
I mean, they get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
We talked about this with the signing. We may not have agreed on Sam Darnold in general, but we both kind of saw what the vision was. And maybe he'll prove us wrong and win a Super Bowl. I viewed it as, can he put you in the competing borderline elite category as a franchise until you have the time to go find the obvious franchise quarterback?
Well, and you brought this up earlier in the show, and you asked it, and I said no initially, and I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, I do. You look at the NFC right now. The Rams are the favorite, and they should be the favorite, and if they win tonight, that won't change at all, right? They'll be 2-0 against Seattle. It's just... They are what they are. If they do this without Devontae Adams tonight on the road, I think that solidifies that.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that in the NFC, who else is there? Like, that's the biggest thing you got going for you if you're a Seahawks fan right now. Tampa's a division leader at 7-7. Nobody's scared of them. Philadelphia's offense, they want to bench their quarterback, and they just won the Super Bowl last year. The Bears are 10-4, but it's, there's a little bit of a question mark there. The Niners are decimated by injuries. They're having a great year, but they're 10-4 somehow through all the injuries. The Packers just lost their best defensive player, and the Lions are currently outside of the playoff picture. So there is this nature that everything is wide open in the NFC, and tonight it feels like a massive night that if you can win this game, you feel like we can not only beat anybody, but we're right there with everybody. If you lose the game and he doesn't play well again, you're right back kind of where you were a couple weeks ago when you lost that game in L.A.
Yeah, I mean, having a big game tonight on primetime television, the standalone game, it does go a long way. But also, like, who's standing in your way, to our earlier conversation of it being open in probably both conferences. I mean, you just named a bunch of teams that I also think can beat them.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying any of them can't beat Seattle, but I also think Seattle's capable of beating any of those teams. Their quarterback threw 4 picks against this Rams team, and they had a field goal to win the game.
Field goal chance at 60 yards, yeah. I mean, I think it's just...
We taking the under tonight? Is that the bet?
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
It's a
short
Thursday
week.
night game, so it
Short
might be a
week.
good
They've been
idea.
able
No
to
Devontae
flooding up
Adams.
there.
It's been raining a ton. Let me see what the
Yeah.
over-under is on DraftKings.
I just think the tough thing with these quarterback reclamation projects is how much you trust it.
Yeah.
What's our best example of the reclamation quarterback project so far?
Of it actually becoming like an answer more than just a short window thing? I would say Baker, probably.
Okay.
How many years has he been in Tampa now?
3?
3 years?
They haven't won a playoff game.
Over-under is 42.5.
That's low.
That is pretty low.
I'd take the under.
I think I'm going to take the under.
I don't want to bet it because I hate betting unders and I find that boring. My point is, like, it's not that reclamations can't do it. They're great stories.
They won a playoff game.
Who'd Tampa beat?
They kicked the crap out of the Eagles, man. Remember when they wanted to fire Sirianni?
Oh, that's right. Thank you. Touche. They lost last year to the
they smoked the
commies.
Eagles. First year they went, they lost to the. I think that he was there in 2022, maybe not. They lost the Cowboys in 22. 23 beat the Eagles, lost to the Lions. That was a close game, competitive game.
Yeah.
And then last year 23-20 to the remember the commies kept going for it on 4th down
and they got it every time.
Beat them in Tampa.
He was with the Rams and Carolina in 2022.
Okay, so it's his third year in Tampa.
Okay, so that was Brady's last year?
Must have been Brady's last year. Or did they go to the playoffs with somebody else in 2022?
Yeah, because they played Heineke. Remember?
Yeah.
I think that's who they beat.
I think so.
Anyways,
My
my point is,
I digress.
we don't have a whole big sample size here of the reclamation. You could say a Kurt Warner, you could throw that at me, but I'm talking of names of note. We've seen these guys turn their careers around in spectacular ways,
Yes.
but are they really stories where they're going to win you Super Bowls? And I think that's the toughest angle of this.
Yeah.
Of it's not that if he plays well, they can't do it. I think it create probably more belief from Seahawk fan, right? But
Definitely would.
it's that I also could see them losing to every single team you named, whether they're home or on the road. Because Philadelphia's defense, let's not act like they get pushed around. So that just takes a bad interception in that game.
Yeah.
Chicago, I think, is better than people have given him credit all year. We know Detroit can do it.
It's fair.
Jordan Love can get on a heater. Like, you start going through the Rams of the Rams, and the Niners kind of own them. So
Yeah. I mean, they got to beat the Niners in San Francisco in a couple weeks.
touche. And so, like, I just think you look at it and you could come in tomorrow and we could say, man, how about that game for Sam Darnold? That was great. And I'll agree with it, but it's also not going to be something where I change my feelings on the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Because it's tough. These reclamations are really fun to talk about, but so far the sample size of true measured success, we haven't seen it quite all the way.
There's almost a further conversation I thought about having. I had it in my notes for sometime this week or next week after the Tua benching yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, how do we start to get a turn of teams not giving out that contract to the guy who's in that 50-50 gray area zone?
Who are all kind of thinking the same thing, too?
Like Bryce Young, prime example.
Well, I think they have adjusted this. I think Baker and Sam are examples of adjustments to that.
Well, didn't Tua get the contract after everything happened with Baker, though? Because his contract was only signed like 16 months ago.
I'm talking about the teams who didn't, right? Like, not that Baker had done enough to get a $200 million plus contract.
Sure.
But Sam Darnold was, 14-3 last year?
Yeah.
And one game away from winning the division and being the one seed in the NFC. And the Seahawks were like, here's $100 million.
Yeah,
not
it was a lower deal.
$200 million.
By the way, Jared Goff reclamation project, does that count?
I don't know.
Not the
They won
same?
the Super Bowl. Like, what,
His
one?
team kind of gave up on him, though. They traded him away.
You're putting that same category as a Geno Smith and a Daniel Jones.
I'm just
and a
asking
Sam
the
Darnold.
question. I'm just asking aloud.
I understand why people would say Jared Goff, but Jared Goff was in a Super Bowl with his previous team, and yeah, it didn't maybe end in spectacular fashion, but he wasn't Geno. Darnold has been on like 5 teams.
Kirk Cousins too had a great run in Minnesota. We got a lot to get to in the final hour of the show.
How
It's
many
coming
playoff
up.
games you win?
Won one. Don't worry about it.
Who'd he beat?
The New Orleans, remember?
That's right.
That was a great moment.
Was
that
it?
was a high of dirt.
What they do?
Last 10 years in the NFL. Doesn't matter what happened the next week. Okay? They won that playoff game that one time. Hey, what's up? What's in the water in this city? What's going on, huh? Why are the cockroaches scurrying away? What's happening? We'll get to that next on The Fan.
The Fan
Magic Hat coming up, top of the hour, which is, basically now, but we'll get there. Got more college football notes to get to in the final hour as well. Speaking of which, you know what's going on up in Seattle right now? How come everybody's scattering into the winds?
Yeah, what is going on over there?
It's kind of a weird 24 hours for them, a little bit longer than that. So Washington, they had a good year based on, the expectations coming in. They go 8-4, couldn't quite compete against the best teams that they played, but, there's no shame in that. And they blow out Boise State in the LA Bowl, and they bring in a top 15 recruiting class, and it's like, all right, here we go. This is the steps that we're taking. And all of a sudden, in the last 24 hours, they've lost some guys who I would have considered coming into next year key cogs of their game plan and offense. Adam Muhammad, their running back, who had 100 yards against Oregon in the last game of the regular season, he was in line. Jonah Coleman's gone. He's graduating. He's leaving. He was in line to become their starting running back. He entered the transfer portal yesterday.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, wait, huh? Raiden Vines-Bright, who is a true freshman wide receiver who played a ton for them this year. I think he had 250 yards and a tud, weren't monster numbers, but he played a lot of snaps for them this year. Entered the transfer portal. They had an offensive lineman, a defensive tackle, and it just left a lot of people wondering, I'm sure they're going to replace them. They got money up there, and they'll find guys in the portal that will replace those players. But it was just a unique look. You see guys who are depth pieces, or maybe you're getting held back in playing time. Like Muhammad was going to be the feature back for them next year, and he
was the feature back against Oregon.
He was at the end of the year because Coleman was banged up a lot at the back half of the year.
Yep.
And he just said, "Peace, I'm out of here. I'm transferring."
Yeah, I think it leads a lot of people to kind of wonder: is there something here with Jedd Fisch and the Michigan stuff? Yeah. We haven't heard any buzz outside of maybe Jedd Fisch is a somewhat dark horse-ish candidate for the job.
And people were throwing cold water on that earlier this week, that he's not even in the running.
Yeah, I know, but I've also seen the opposite from other people. The tastemakers of the sport are saying he's not in the running, and then other ones are saying, he's definitely somebody to keep an eye on. So you have to kind of wonder that, but also this is, I think Sans, Ohio State's, Alabama's, I think your program is in this, and I know that pisses people off. I just think there's only a handful of teams that, because of depth, they lose guys.
Yeah.
And everybody else largely has to deal with this. Quarterback just entered the portal from an SEC school.
Yeah, Bo Pribula is the starter at Missouri. He just entered the portal.
The starter at Missouri. At one point, you don't have to say you bought Missouri. Nobody did. But, at one point, Missouri was in the mix. And instead of coming back and being the starting quarterback, he's like, I'm out. And maybe some of these guys enter and they end up coming back because they renegotiate. But
yeah.
I think this is just kind of the nature for 92% of the sport. And it sucks to say Washington is kind of in that.
Yeah, they lost some defensive guys last year when the Nepo DC took the job with his daddy in North Carolina.
Yeah.
He took a couple of guys with him. Yep. And that, I remember being a thing. Everyone's like, oh, those guys are leaving. And their defense ended up being outstanding this year. So just because you lose a couple of guys in the portal doesn't mean that it derails everything that you're going to do next year. I guess the only thing I think you're right that they're one of those programs that's in that spot. I always kind of view quarterbacks differently because the payday is so significant for quarterbacks. Teams are so desperate for that spot that somebody's probably willing to give Pribula a lot of money to enter the portal. And I'm not saying Adam Muhammad isn't a good back.
Muhammad.
I'm not saying he's not a good back. He's a very good back, but I don't think the payday is the same for a guy who was a number 2 back at Washington than it is for a guy who was a pretty good starting quarterback at Missouri who's going to get, how much is Pribula going to make compared to Muhammad next year?
All these guys don't make quite as much as we think they make, but if I would have watched tape of Muhammad the last couple weeks, I definitely, as a program needing a running back, having some spending money.
I'm not saying I wouldn't be willing to spend money on him for sure.
I think he proved, we had kind of talked about the Oregon game, and he's not Jonah Coleman. He had a spectacular game.
Yeah, he was great.
He was a physical wrecking ball for Washington. And, without them, who knows where that game goes. I think he's somebody that hits the market. And again, it's not that Washington can't afford him. It's just that he's opening up the bidding, basically. Yeah. And maybe he has a destination in mind because, to Eli Drinkwitz's point, the sport has fundamental cracks in it right now where everybody's back channeling. And the communication deadlines and when you can and cannot talk, it doesn't exist.
There's no rules.
There's no rules.
Portals should just be open right now. All these guys, if you're entering the portal, I tend to think for the most part you know where you're going.
Now, also the receiver might have something to do with Boston. Is Boston going to come back for Washington?
He could.
Feels like he'd be somebody that would be bypassing a really good opportunity because a lot of mocks really like him.
Well, and I don't know. I don't have any intel on Boston. I would be shocked if he came back, but who knows? Maybe he wants another year in college. He got banged up at the end of the year. I don't know what more he needs to show, but maybe his stock could rise a little bit. The other thing I would add to that on Vines-Bright is that he's you're going to get so many favorable. If Boston comes back, it's not like he's slipping that far down the depth chart. You're still the number 2 or 3 wide receiver. you're going to get good looks. You're going to get, favorable coverages if Boston does come back. It was just interesting. Usually you see guys from better teams who enter the portal who are, I'm buried on the depth chart. I have no chance of playing. I get that. Like Justice Lowe entered the portal for Oregon. Wish him nothing but the best. Totally get it, dude. They got a lot of young players at wide receiver. Even with all the injuries this year, you didn't play a ton, didn't get a ton of looks. Like, go get some catches and some playing time. This guy's a true freshman, played a considerable number of snaps, and then you still entered the portal. That's what made it a little unique. But to the point I made earlier, they lost guys defensively and ended up being great defensively this last year, so maybe it has no impact on their offense whatsoever.
I think one of the bigger takeaways, too, isn't just so much the talent. It's also that we thought Ryan Walters was leaving, and he stayed.
He did, yes.
And that, to me, is bigger than probably any of the players you lost, because to your point on the defense,
it carried them this year.
I mean, yeah, it absolutely carried them this year.
So players scattering up in Seattle a little bit. We'll see how they respond to it. But a running back, wide receiver, defensive lineman, offensive lineman entering the transfer portal, which isn't even open yet. That's the funny part about all of this. We got a lot to get to in the final hour. We're already there. Magic Hat kicks it off next on The Fan.
There are is brought to you by Video Only, KRSK Portland, KRSK FM HD1 Malala, Oregon, The Fan, and Odyssey Sports Station. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This sports update is brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on The Fan, Thursday Night Football is in the Northwest as the Seattle Seahawks host the Los Angeles Rams in an NFC West matchup with major playoff implications. The Seahawks have ruled out left tackle Charles Cross, while Rams wide receiver Devontae Adams is doubtful with injuries to both his knee and his hamstring. Both Seattle and Los Angeles coming in at 11-3 in the contest, as Seattle is coming in as 1.5-point favorites. Some more NFL news for you, as Titans quarterback Cam Ward has stated that he wants to be a part of the team's head coaching search this offseason. Tennessee fired head coach Brian Callahan back in October after a 1-5 start to the season. Your Portland Trailblazers host the Sacramento Kings tonight in the Moda Center. Tip-off at 7 p.m. as Drew Holiday has been ruled out for tonight's game, still nursing that calf injury. Ducks men's basketball walked away with a victory last night against the Portland Pilots. Final score in that one was 94-69. Kwame Evans leading the way for Oregon. He posted 21 in the contest. Finally, Ducks women's basketball will take on the Pilots this morning inside of Matthew Knight Arena. That game will tip off at 11 a.m. For more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, let's get to the Magic Hat.
It's the Magic Hat.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting.
Hey, let's do this. Final hour, Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM. The Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Hope your days are off to a good start.
Whoa.
Got a lot to get to in the final hour of the show. A few more college football nuggies to get to later on. Thursday Night Football, final thoughts. Will we Sprague the line on the game? Stay tuned.
No, I won't. What's that line? Is it still like a pick 'em?
Basically a pick 'em. I think Seattle's a slight favorite still.
Okay.
1.5, so...
Okay.
Will we take a side? Will we take the over-under?
Are you thinking about it?
I'm contemplating it, kicking it around.
I just get worried about the random, like, oh, there won't be any points scored. Boom. Can't stop anybody.
Look, I got no confidence at all, so, that was out the window a long time ago. It is time, though, to get to the Magic Hat, and this is a lowercase Casey edition Magic Hat. He's got his hat off.
Does he got any in the hat? Do you have any
Did
magic?
you put any magic in the hat?
I've got some magic in the hat.
Oh,
you really?
He's got magic in the hat.
What happened to Merry Christmas?
Oh.
Do we have the audio in the system?
Working on it.
Okay, hold on.
I can't do
Do we want to pick a different one then? Wait
that
for that one
aside.
until
We'll do
set
that,
that one aside. We'll get to that one in a second. If it's an
I thought you
audio
were going to delay a
component.
little longer for the audio to get in the system. You just grabbed some magic.
Way to go, kid.
Yeah, we don't need audio for this one.
Okay, what do you got?
I wanted to talk about this earlier, and we didn't have time. I thought of you, actually, because if anybody on this show is going to have a kid do this, it's definitely you.
Mm-hmm.
There was a children's Christmas carol musical thing performed at a school, and one of the kids is a Georgia fan. So you know what, region of the country this is in?
Yes.
And at the school, because I believe they're in Tennessee, they have to sing Rocky Top. And in the background on
It's like how
video,
we're doing, like, bringing the Pledge of Allegiance back in Tennessee. They make you sing Rocky Top at a kid's concert.
Basically, yeah, we
same
need
thing.
you in the cold.
Yeah.
And basically on the video, when you watch the kids sing Rocky Top, you look in the back row and there's this kid with his Georgia polo, and his arms are crossed. He can't be older than 10.
Yeah.
And he has this like smug look, and he just shakes his head like, nope, not going to do it. And everybody noted he was the only kid that refused to sing Rocky Top. And I thought, if you ever move to Seattle,
Stand up for your principles, kid. Stand up for what you believe in.
and they're making Teddy Ballgame sing some Washington Fight School, he's going to be up there with a green pole like, no,
No,
no.
not doing it.
And I was really proud of this kid because it does mean more there. And he really stuck to his roots and refusing to root for anything Tennessee involved.
I did see this. It's definitely worth a quick search because watching the kid's reaction is hilarious. Because you could tell, I don't know if somebody in the crowd was trying to get him to sing or trying to like, hey, come on, Billy, Billy, come on. Like trying to get him going because every like 15 or so seconds of the video, he just glances over at whoever is filming and just shakes his head no. Like,
Yep.
Not happening. I'm not doing it.
Yep.
And I love this, dude. Like when that is ingrained in you at a young age in your DNA as a sports fan, that means you are successful as a parent. And if Teddy Ballgame ever did something like that in Seattle, thankfully he doesn't have to worry about that around these parts. But if we ever did find ourselves in Seattle in the years to come and he's in some sort of thing where the Huskies are involved and he'd acted that way, it would be one of my proudest moments as a parent.
Well, is this not the biggest of evidence that it does mean more there? We're not getting these videos around here.
If you want another funny, it just means more story in Georgia, although I don't think he's the only one that does this. Just take a moment on social media to search Kirby Smart and what he sounded like yesterday. So I don't know what the backstory is.
I couldn't pull it. I tried. It didn't sound good.
There's a lot of cuss words in there, too.
Yeah.
So they obviously, Georgia's got a bye in the first round of the playoff. I don't know what the situation is, if their practice field is outdoors or if they're practicing in Sanford Stadium and you could just hear them over the mic. But somebody was sitting in their car, like having lunch outside the stadium. And you can go watch this video where he's yelling so loud over the microphone, just ripping his team a new one.
His offense specifically.
And this guy's just sitting there filming. And you could hear the majority of it. And he's yelling at him and cussing at him and this and that. And somebody, I think, just responded was like, man, Kirby's going to beat the S out of bye week this week. Bye week has no chance against Georgia.
He is interesting. I don't want to derail the Magic hat because we got other Magic to get to. He is... Somebody fascinating to talk about tomorrow is Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
Because he's clearly somebody that goes in, he's got the most accolades of this thing.
Get you two of these.
He's got two of those. Yep. This was a guy we thought was going to be the next Nick Saban.
Yeah.
And they've been good, but, last year they kind of got their tails kicked in the first start of that Notre Dame game. And the minute we think it's going to, here's Georgia, they don't quite deliver. Now, this team a little different. The way that they're built, the dominance they had in the SEC title game, he's definitely somebody tomorrow that we talk about. And it's like, can Oregon do it? Is Indiana going to run through as the 1 seed? What about Ryan Day, Ohio State repeating?
Right.
I kind of, in a weird way, feel like Georgia's just quietly sitting there like, okay, cool. Have you seen a lot of Georgia picks? I've seen them win some games.
They should be. Talk about their pathway, too. Like, I love their pathway because they obviously get a bye. I would be surprised if Tulane were to beat Ole Miss, but now you're likely going to get Ole Miss in round 2, which is a rematch with a team you already know that you could beat, and they're playing without their head coach. It's like they almost seem like a team that I'm just like sharpieing into the semifinals.
I think I'm going to get them to the title game.
Yeah, and then you would get because
they play Ohio State,
it'd
right?
be Ohio State, Miami, or Texas A&M, whoever comes out of that.
I think I like them all against all those.
I tend to agree with you as well. What else we got?
Well, we have audio from my first one.
Okay, what was the first one again? What happened to Merry Christmas?
What happened to Merry Christmas?
Okay.
Look, I like to be what people would call fair and balanced. Okay? There used to be a news network, News and Name, that was outraged that anybody would say Happy Holidays.
Ah, yeah.
And their entire theme for what felt like 4 or 5 years was that one political party is canceling Christmas.
Yeah, get rid of Christmas, man.
This is an audio clip via Fox News.
Oh.
They were debating the new data centers that need to be built and consume all of our resources and make us pay all the money and have no clean drinking water.
Oh, yeah.
This was a analyst on Fox News talking about what you should do for Christmas versus the data centers being allowed to be built.
So this farm is 150 acres. Yeah, they're going to be farms. And there will be transmission lines that have to go through developments and farms. That's the very nature of a growing economy. Everybody needs to get on board. I just don't. You know what? Buy a fake tree.
So the network that got outraged about Happy Holidays is now telling you to start licking the boots of data centers, destroy family farms, and stop buying real Christmas trees. You need to let robots take over society.
Yes.
Take all of your water and pay double your electricity bills.
And no more real trees, damn it.
Why don't you get on board and shut up and suck that data center?
You also don't need $37. You only need $2, Brandon. Get yourself $2, okay?
Is it just not ironic that they were
it's a little ironic
on that channel specifically really upset for multiple years about Happy Holidays, and now they're just like, shut up about your real trees and your farm support?
Why don't you
get
shove
a plastic
that
one?
Fake tree where the sun doesn't shine? Over my dead body will I ever have a fake tree? No offense. If people want to have them, that's fine. To each their own. Over my dead body will I ever
This
have a
is
fake tree.
outrageous of you to demand me get a fake Christmas tree. I love supporting those tree farms.
I do. I go to the same one every year. Drive
Same
out,
one every
pay in
year.
cash, cut it
Man,
down.
what are we
Same
doing?
guy's been there for 20 years. Say hi to him every year.
Mm.
Same guy. Support your farmers. What else we got?
Bird gift.
Just coming up me in this
Just got
one,
some.
aren't
You
we?
must have folded them a certain way.
Gary Busey, big-time Hollywood actor.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year.
Who could forget?
He posted a video online, and he has gotten a gift for you, me, and everybody else.
Gary Busey got me something for Christmas?
He got Casey something.
What?
Yeah, he got Casey a gift. He got you a gift. He got me a gift. Everybody at the fan, he got him a gift.
Okay.
Listeners, he got you a gift. Here's the Gary Busey gift.
And I have got a great Christmas present for you. Listen to this. That's what a goose sounds like when they're flying. They let you know they're up there. You get a bunch of geese together. They're honking in the air.
Didn't even have to unwrap that one.
That's a glorious gift. Thank you, Gary.
When you post it online and you say
Thank
it's a
you.
gift from me and everybody else,
I'm opening that gift.
I'm going to have to listen to that gift. That's a great gift to you, Gary Busey.
Gary Busey looks like he's seen the Ark of the Covenant.
There's something to that, yeah. Spot on Goose imitation.
Who does a better goose, Gary Busey or Brandon Sprague? I think you blow him out of the water.
I think I beat Gary Busey personally.
I think you did too.
I'm a
I think
little
you blow him out.
biased,
I think you blow him out.
but I also didn't say this is a gift for everybody in America.
Well, now it is. Here you go. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Casey, we should just pull his honk.
We need the side-by-side honk. Honk. They're honking at you.
And that camera, by the way, didn't shake, so the person recording that wasn't laughing.
Just taking it dead seriously, huh?
I commend him for it. It's a gift to America.
What's Gary Busey look like these days? Got to be honest with you. When you told me
The Ark of the Covenant is what he's looking like.
Oh
these
my
days.
God!
Okay, well, there's a backstory to it.
What? Oh my God! Is he alive?
Well, he just posted that.
Are we sure?
Yes. He posted that 2 days ago.
Dude, I just saw the video.
Yeah, he sent it out to
That's-
everybody on social media. Merry Christmas. Here's some birds.
Oh my God!
Bird's the word.
This is not good.
Gary
man.
Busey.
Hell of an actor in his time, though.
Love Gary Busey.
Had a great run.
Yeah.
Who didn't love Gary Busey? More Magic Hat next on the Fan. All right, more Magic Hat. Round 2. I did watch Frosty the Snowman the other day.
The OG cartoon?
Yeah, and it made me think of the Open.
Can I give you an underrated take?
Yeah, what do you got?
I think Frosty Returns is not awful.
It's been a long time since I've seen Frosty Returns.
Now, it's nowhere near the OG, okay? Let me just get that out in front. But John Goodman is Frosty.
Okay. I mean, I vaguely remember. It's just not on my yearly.
It was about some death chemical that melts snow. It wasn't even Christmas related.
I always love watching those now and then, like the plot holes in them. Like, oh, yeah, you're just jumping on a train to the North Pole, huh? That's where we're going to go?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because something not in the Magic Hat. I've been starting to watch some, like last night I watched some Christmas movies.
Sure.
And I'm starting to watch them from a perspective of what a stupid plot.
How did nobody in the writing of this script come up with, guys, can we make this a little more plausible?
Yeah. And it's kind of bothered me that I'm looking at it this way, but I don't know what happened. I just watch these movies and I'm like,
you just get old.
You think that's what it is?
I think that's what it is.
That's too bad.
Wait, you're telling me there's not a heat miser? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, like I hate the Santa Claus in Rudolph. How did nobody say that this Santa Claus is awful? This is not a guy who shares his gifts with the world.
He's a total D, man.
It's all about him.
Misfit toys. He's allowing
misfit
toys to happen. What are we doing? All right, what else we got, Casey? What else is in the Magic Hat?
Oopsie.
Finally. One for dirt here. We haven't talked about it. Maybe you guys did on Monday. I was obviously not here on Monday. Did you talk about the Cougs hiring a new head coach?
I had mentioned it. We didn't dive in. It wasn't even a half a segment, but I'm like, I offhanded said, oh, and the Cougs, they hired Kirby Moore.
Did you know that he's Kellen Moore's brother?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a fun fact.
I didn't either.
Nothing like Kellen Moore.
They don't really. Yeah, I mean, when you put them side to side, they kind of do, but not like in quick glance, you don't quite see it.
I don't think you and your brother look alike.
No, I don't think we'd look very much alike either. He also, though, played at Boise State. He's from the area. He grew up a diehard Coug fan. So look, he was the OC at Missouri last year. He'd been in Missouri a couple years. Spent some time at Washington a long time ago, Fresno State. Now the head coach at Washington State. That's look, if I'm a Coug fan, here's what I'll say. There's a lot of trust in them hiring the right guy and finding a quarterback because they've had a quarterback who went number 1 overall in the draft. They've had back-to-back head coaches take Power 4 gigs.
Yeah.
Their last quarterback they transferred was a front runner for the Heisman coming into the year, and then the thumb injury kind of derailed things. But
he's in the playoff.
Like, there's something about them that just kind of keeps stumbling into the right hire and the right quarterback. No matter who is there, it's kind of unique for them.
And the president was on the record saying we need to be spending $20 million a year in football. Like she's just out. I want this to matter. It's a big deal for us.
They fired their athletic director to go hire a new athletic director.
They're like a less successful version of JMU right now, and I'm a little envious of it.
Well, he had his introductory press conference, and snafus happen from time to time. We all have a slip of the tongue here or there. We say stupid things. I do it on a daily basis. But Kirby Moore was introduced in Pullman, and he had this to say as he was wrapping up his press conference.
Moving forward, the time is now at Washington State to be the leader in the new Mountain West Conference.
Oh. Now,
tough break.
In fairness to Kirby Moore, he understood his, he corrected himself.
Immediately?
He caught it, and in the next sentence, he was like, yeah, you guys know what I mean. I was at Fresno State. Give me a break here. Dan Mullen did jump on Twitter and was basically like, we are the better conference, Kirby. Thanks for shouting us out. So he's taking a fun little jab because that's turned into a little bit of a brouhaha between you two.
I like Dan Mullen's becoming one of my favorite coaches.
He doesn't care. He's already been fired. He knows he's got a job waiting for him at ESPN.
He's got a great life.
Dude, he's led Vegas.
He's letting it all fly, man.
They won 10 games this year. He's hitting the portal hard.
But
that's a tough way to,
What's tougher?
Because the conference is
I know.
You grew up watching the conference.
You also just stole half of that conference's teams, I think including Fresno State, correct?
Fresno State is in your new conference.
It's the All-State Conference. What's worse, though, flubbing that or having a press conference go an hour? Because that press conference was too long.
Hour. That's too long.
It's too long.
That's too long.
An hour is a long time.
That's
but
too
also,
long.
you can't
Shouldn't be longer
say
than 30
the Mountain
minutes.
West.
I know. You got to get the conference right. That's like the musician who goes up on stage and shouts out the wrong city. You can't do that.
Has anybody started looking up these coach press or introductory things and said like who's doing Chat GPT versus who's legitimately writing their intro? Because it would be great if somebody did find out that he said, "What's something I can say that fires up people at a small conference and ChatGPT just spit out everything there, including
Mountain
and then
West.
inserted Mountain West, and he just read it straight up without any editing.
They don't quite put the Pac-12 in that category yet. It's still the Mountain West
Right.
when you think of it that way
Right,
through
yeah.
the computer's lens.
Yeah.
I bet a handful of them do. I know people do on job applications as well. All right, what else we got, Casey?
Our ears say thank you.
Look at that. Now we're on a dirt trend here. This happened last night. I don't know if you guys caught this, but major news.
Yeah.
Just groundbreaking news.
Okay.
In the world of college basketball combined with radio. Our fearless leader in this industry, the gold standard that has been,
Jay Billis,
has decided he can no longer, speaking of hats, wear both hats. Our dear friend Doug Gottlieb is stepping back from his radio show.
What?
He announced last night, after another Green Bay game.
Did they win?
I don't know if they lost. I mean, I'd imagine the time to announce it would be right after a loss, right? I don't know if he threw a chair. What conference is Green Bay in? Does anybody know?
They won. They beat UC Santa Barbara.
Okay, they beat
67
big win.
Look, that's massive for Doug. Doug's trending in the right
Aren't those
direction
the
here.
Slugs? Do I have that right?
I think
They're
so.
the Gauchos.
The Gauchos.
Gauchos.
Thank you. Who's the Slugs? Is that Santa Cruz?
Santa Cruz, maybe?
One of them is a slug,
Is
isn't
it
it?
the banana slugs or
One of
just
those
slugs?
UC schools, I feel like, is a slug.
There's a slug down there somewhere.
That's massive news, dude.
He's
No Doug
stepping
Gottlieb?
back from his award-winning
Santa Cruz.
radio show.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah,
UC
University of Santa Cruz is the mascot is Sammy the Banana Slug.
Yeah, dude,
The
I love
banana
that.
slugs.
I love the banana slugs.
So, for all of you Doug Gottlieb P1s out there, I just
devastated.
take a deep breath, moment of silence.
What are we going to do without his takes?
How will we survive in the sports radio landscape without hearing from Doug Gottlieb?
Well, if he won last night, then am
Gone
I
too soon.
right in saying he has surpassed his win total from last year? Because I think he won 4 last year. That would give them 5 or 6.
They're 6 and 7.
6 and 7. I think last year he only won 4. Oh, that was, yeah. Did you walk into that on purpose, the 6-7
You say that on purpose?
No, not even a little
okay.
bit.
Are you doing 6-7, Casey?
No, I'm 24. I don't.
It's kind of right in your
That's-
age. Let's not act
that's-
like you're too mature.
There's a lot
for
of
it.
college kids that are doing the 6-7 thing. You're not that far
I'm
removed.
not in college
You're
anymore.
not that far removed.
I literally can't go through a practice. If I utter anything with 6 and 7 related,
That's the immediate response.
half my team does the hand thing.
Yeah.
Or they start laughing, and I go, "What is so funny?" And they'll go, 6-7.
And yes, they were 4 and 20.
Yeah,
last
dude,
season.
he's past his win total.
Look out for Doug.
He's on fire.
Doug's coming for the tournament.
Dude.
He doesn't have time to spew hot takes on radio anymore.
Let's not act like he's not going to get a gig the minute he quits or gets fired from that job.
Remember back in the day when Colin used to be after us whenever Gottlieb would fill in the reaction we would have to each other. Whenever you now, here's the guest host, Doug Gottlieb.
And he'd steal Colin's entire intro.
It's like, oh, God.
How you just be like, "Hey guys, Doug Gottlieb here.
This is going to suck.
It's my show, but I'm filling in for Colin."
But our ears say thank you. Let's get one more in. Do we got time for one more?
Christmas Die Hard.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin's making the rounds. Fascinating little turnaround of career. He has leaned into the Home Alone stuff. It's the 35th year anniversary.
Talk about a guy who dealt with a lot of drug issues and now has kind of come out of the other end of the tunnel on a high note.
He's done a lot of podcasts lately, and he did a podcast, and at the back end of it, there was a lightning round. And he was asked straight up the age-old question that everybody debates, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
No, it's not. It's based around Christmas. Don't fight me on the moon. It's really messed up. It's based around Christmas, but if it was also St. Patrick's Day, it would work. You know, yeah. But you couldn't do like Memorial Day, Home Alone. Like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Now, I'm going to push back on Macaulay Culkin here a little bit, because I'm somebody that does think Die Hard's a Christmas movie. My kid loves it, by the way.
Who doesn't love Die Hard?
You could do the Home Alone premise for spring break,
You absolutely could.
and people would still want to rob your house.
You could do it for a summer vacation.
Yeah.
You could, I mean,
Yeah.
Isn't Home Alone 3, the one where he's not in it? Isn't that not even
Christmas?
Christmas?
I don't
It's
know. I've
just-
never seen it.
never
I
seen
think
Home Alone
it's
3.
the
I stopped
holiday
at 2.
season, but it's not Christmas.
Over actual Christmas.
I think it's Thanksgiving.
Look, both these takes are correct. Like, it's not technically a Christmas movie, but there's Christmas happening, and when there's Christmas happening in the movie,
Well,
you watch it normally around Christmas time.
I have this debate with another movie. I like to have a holiday movie for the winter, fall holidays. So,
Yes.
like, Thanksgiving for me, planes, trains, automobiles, automatic.
Correct take.
The Christmas movies, there's a whole catalog of them.
Easy to go to.
I have a New Year's Eve movie.
Oh.
Now, some people think it's a Christmas movie. I lean a little more New Year's, and that is Trading Places. Because Trading Places has both holidays in them.
It does, yeah.
He gets drugged up and he does OD during Christmas with smoking hot Jamie Lee Curtis.
God, yeah.
But also, they get even, and they beat the brothers just after New Year's. And they're on the train with the Belushi brother.
That's a good point. I think I would lean more New Year's Eve movie than I would Christmas movie.
Right. But his entire, he finally has his break point when he's dressed as Santa eating a salmon out of his beard because he's so messed up on substances.
Right.
So some people consider Trading Places a Christmas movie.
I've never thought of it that way.
I have it more as a New Year's Eve movie.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I know. There's those coin flip movies. Die Hard for me is a Christmas movie.
Also, he's a pretty distinguished voice to be able to speak on this as a Christmas movie legend himself.
I respect that.
He's got some authority on the topic, Mac.
Yeah, but I would counter and say, fair point, Mac. But let me counter.
Mac, you go Mac with him?
Yeah, I'd call him Mac.
You go short.
How many other holidays do we have parties for during the calendar year?
How many other holidays do we have parties for? 4th of July, we have parties?
At the office?
Oh, at the office. Oh, no. None.
Christmas is the only one. You would agree?
Christmas is the only one at
now,
the office.
Now, why are they at the office for Die Hard?
Office Christmas party.
Yeah.
They don't have Easter Christmas parties. They don't have Memorial Day Christmas parties.
Maybe we should.
The Christmas is the whole reason Die Hard happens.
Normalize the party.
That's the time to go to the tower because everybody's there.
Yeah. Good point.
So
strong argument from Brandon Sprague.
I think you can make a point that in some ways, Die Hard might be more of a Christmas movie than Home Alone. Because that family vacation can happen for 5 other times. That office Christmas party doesn't happen any other time of the whole year.
They going to France in the first one? Is that where they're going?
They go to France for the first.
Where's the second one? Miami?
Florida.
And
then it rains the whole time, and he gets to go to New York.
And they're crammed into a little hotel room down in Florida.
You know what they call Kevin? Les incompetents.
Well done. There you go. There's your magic hat every Thursday at 9 o'clock. Let's get to a couple of more college football notes, and we'll do that next. Final thoughts on Thursday Night Football as well. Still to come, but first, here's us with a update.
This is Dirt and Sprague. First round week of the college football playoff is brought to you by Video Only. Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This sports update is brought to you by 808 Hawaiian Restaurant. Mixed plates like Grandma used to make if your grandma were from the Big Island. Woodstock, Burnside, Beaverton, or online at ate-oh-ate.com. First on the Fan. As of Thursday evening, Evergreen State Fair Park has taken in roughly 171 horses, 104 cows, 94 goats, and 21 chickens, along with several other animals because of the floods in Washington right now.
In recent years, animal experts have estimated that the world's biggest whales eat between 10 and 20 tons of food a day, the caloric equivalent of 70 to 80,000 Big Macs, if you're curious. And after decades of studying, scientists are starting to run with the conclusion that the one thing saving the oceans is indeed the tons and tons of whale crap.
Hell yeah.
Because it's floating in the water, it's creating all of these micro creatures that are able to feast on it, and then the cycle continues to go out. So whale poop actually responsible for helping save the oceans right now.
The cycle of poo. I would like to give a congratulations and round of applause to friend of the station, friend of the program, Anthony Newman, who is officially named the head coach of the Westland Lions.
I thought he was already, and I didn't understand that tweet at all.
He was the defensive coordinator.
I was thinking the same
He's been
thing.
the defensive coordinator the whole time. He has not been the head coach.
I'm pretty sure on this show I have basically made him the head coach of that program.
He's very impactful.
But congratulations, nonetheless.
Well deserved, dude.
Very
One of the
happy
best
for
dudes
Q.
you ever run into.
Yeah.
Very happy, and
Very good
he's
friend
going
of
to
the
win
show.
a lot of state titles.
For more animal stories, sports scores, and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Sports Saturday with Joe Fisher and Rashad Taylor. Saturday mornings at 9 on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Some thoughts coming in, as you would imagine, at the fan text line.
Indeed.
Counterpoint, my Christmas party from my office was last week. The movie probably is not even on Christmas.
Well, but that's not a counterpoint. You're making my point. You have a party to celebrate that holiday. There's no other holiday your office celebrates.
Did we have a Christmas party this year?
No, we're doing a client party.
Oh, okay.
In Q1 or 2 or something.
Okay,
like
early next year instead.
Something. I think so.
Another one, the Christmas movie debate is pretty easy. If the movie is on TV January through October and you watch it, it's not a Christmas movie. I would not watch Home Alone outside of Christmas season, but I would watch Die Hard. Therefore, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, but still a great movie that you can watch anytime.
I mean, we all agree on that part of it. Now, the debate is what if it is a holiday. I'll counter that and say, I promise you this, and I know this because it shocked me. I can't remember if it was AMC or a channel like that.
Mm-hmm.
In July, they played Elf. So Elf's not a Christmas movie?
Well, it's because it's Christmas in July. It's a thing for people.
But it's not a thing.
If Friday After Next is being played in June,
Hallmark
September,
Channel does the same thing. They stream through their Christmas
Friday
movies in July.
Friday After Next is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, but if it's on
Magic
the year,
Mike has his
it's gonna be
testicles in a vice. That's a Christmas movie.
Pimp Down.
Pinky hits the bad guy with his limo.
That's the first one. Oh, no, never mind. That is the...
Come on.
Come on.
The first one.
Come on now.
Well, you said Pinky. He's only in the movie for like 5 minutes.
The reason he's in the third one is to catch the bad guy. I can't wait for the next Friday. They're making it.
They're making another Friday movie?
Yeah, and I think they have Chris Tucker back.
I mean, you kind of have to at this point, right? If we're going to redo that.
They didn't get him for the sequel.
I know they didn't, but that was a long time ago.
I love that third Friday movie. I think it's great.
The third Friday movie is underrated.
Come on, man.
It is underrated. I'll give you that. So he said most places like my work don't have Christmas parties anymore. They have winter celebrations. Does this make it not a Christmas movie? Yeah. Why do we have to do that? Is that a thing? People do winter celebrations?
Well, I mean, I think we're stuck in this weird thing of like, we don't want to insult anybody, but like also we're caring too much about everything. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Like,
yeah.
I don't think
Like, if you don't celebrate Christmas and you get invited to a company Christmas party, are you offended by that?
I wouldn't think you would be, but maybe you
I wouldn't
are.
be, but maybe people are. I don't know.
Well, like,
do you want to go hang out with your coworkers or not? If the answer is no, you're not going to go. I don't think it has anything to do with what the theme of the party is.
I don't think people were, I mean, at most places, I don't think people were throwing Christmas parties and doing Bible readings.
No, I don't think that they were.
I think they were Xeroxing their asses on machines and drinking a lot of booze with Santa hats on.
It's exactly what they were
putting, mistletoe over their testicles. I think they were trying to do that stuff back in the day more so than be like, we're here for Christ.
What do we know about
Not that there's anything wrong with celebrating Christmas for that reason. I'm just saying my point is...
you celebrate for whatever reason you want to celebrate for.
Right, and I don't think people were showing up to their office Christmas parties solely off of religion.
What do we know about the Kings? They're in town tonight.
We're 8.5-point favorites.
We are 8.5-point favorites tonight against the 6-20 Sacramento Kings.
We are currently in purgatory. Why are we 8.5-point favorites over anybody?
That's a good question.
Sacramento.
The last 3 games.
What's the win total difference right now between us and the Kings?
The Kings have 6.
Okay.
We have 10.
Oh, my God. We're so much better than them.
We are 4 games ahead of them in the standings.
Yeah.
They are 3-12 on the road. We are 4-6 at home.
The Kings beat the Timberwolves.
All right. They beat the Timberwolves.
I'm trying to figure out who else they beat, but it's the Timberwolves.
They beat the Pacers.
How long until the Kings trade everybody on their roster?
Who are they trading them for?
I don't know. But
do you know that they gave a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract to Dennis Schroeder, who's not even starting for them, and then after they did that, they brought in Russell Westbrook.
They have.
They also gave Keegan Murray. Yeah. That's one of the worst contracts in the league right now.
This is a disaster. They have Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder on their team.
They have Malik Monk off the bench and Precious Achiuwa with Schroeder. They basically watched what the Bulls did for 3 straight years of being a borderline play-in team in the East who never did anything, and then said, you know what?
Let's take those 2 guys.
I like what those 2 guys are doing together in Chicago. Let's bring it to Sacramento and then build the roster even more incompetently.
Let's get rid of our best player and then build around a bunch of old guys.
They are in the running for one of the most irrelevant sports franchises in the whole gambit of sports.
They are on the short list.
The beam.
That was just 2 years ago.
The beam had its moment. Everybody thought the Kings were back.
We all did. That was
And
fun.
then, here we go.
And then they traded De'Aaron Fox. They fired their head coach who won Coach of the Year.
They did.
You know who they hired?
They did.
Their play-by-play color analyst, Doug Christie.
Doug Christie.
He went from their television broadcast to their head coach.
Yeah. By the way, Mike Brown, what did he just do? He just raised a cup.
Cup champs.
He's cup champ.
Knicks might be better.
Kings are in town tonight. 8.5 is your line. Feels like a while since the last.
Nobody's watching this game.
No, I'll flip over at the end of the Thursday night football game. If it's close, I'll flip over.
The Kings are not a fun team to watch.
What if we lose to them?
I mean, it'd kind of be in line with our season.
That's kind of my point.
Beat a better
we
team.
should beat them. Yeah. We're better than them.
I think we have a home and home, right? Back to back?
I believe
play
so.
them twice. You play them on Saturday as well.
At Sacramento?
That game I will not watch because I'll be at Eugene, Oregon.
At Sacramento.
Yeah, it's back.
But tonight I'll be at home. I'll flip over. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's close up Thursday Night Football. Poll questions. Wrap it up next on The Fan. Well, last one for us today. Let's get to some poll questions.
Just made a awkward joke in my family group chat.
Nobody wants to play with you anymore?
I kind of think half my family doesn't like me anyway.
Now, are we talking in-laws or your direct family?
No, I'm talking about like my dad, my
Your direct
stepmom,
family,
all
yeah.
the siblings in it. Because they live up north, and so it's been a lot of like flood warnings. And
Yeah, there's a lot going on up there right now.
they've lost power, and internet's been down, and so it's been like a little bit of an update. Internet's still down. It's been really tough. Hope you guys are all safe. And then the stepmom text, internet's restored. Dad's happy. And I said, good, he can watch porn again. And nobody's responding to that. And my dad's the kind of person that would be like really upset by that comment.
Stewing in the silence is tough.
Anybody? Bueller? Anybody gonna chime in on this one?
Anybody else feel like they're not actually a part of their family, but they are a part of the family, but they're just way different than the whole family?
Sounds like a bit of a black sheep situation we got ourselves on our hands tonight. Rams Seahawks. Who wins tonight? 52.2% Seahawks. People voting for Seattle. Is it shocking that Dan Lanning admitted that he doesn't have any Christmas lights on his house? 75% of you saying no.
Yeah, my cousin texted and she said, you guys sound like bullies right now making
Really?
people get lights. If you walk to go watch
You know
Christmas
what?
lights,
I'm okay with that. I will bully you.
Well, where's your Christmas spirit?
Put
dang
something
it?
up. Look, I'm not telling you need to put them all over the place. How much money and effort does it take to throw a net over a bush?
you're in this bush, this net bush.
Who doesn't like a good netted bush?
Well, the net's never big enough for the bush.
You got to find the right size net.
No,
might
you
need
have to get two nets.
You get two nets if you got a big bush.
I have a big Japanese maple in front, and we have one net, and it's
Net
clearly
that
not
bitch.
big enough for that Japanese maple, but I'm not buying another net.
Net that SOB.
We're one net in that Japanese maple.
I'm not asking for you to go hours and hours and hours and thousands of dollars. There are people in my neighborhood who blow me away with some of the lights that they have up. One guy strung lights up on the tree on the sidewalk, and the entire thing is covered in like green and red lights.
That's pretty cool.
And then he strung them across the street to the neighbor's tree across the street.
That's badass.
And it's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
not asking you to do that.
No.
Net on a bush.
But if you're telling me you walk to go look at the lights with your family, you're
walk.
now telling me you love Christmas and you love lights. So for you to then counter and say, I have zero lights,
I'm asking you to put a little effort in for the sake of community.
I'm going to tell you, I'm shocked and surprised by that and would just assume that household would be easier than almost everybody else to just put a little bit of lights up.
I'm going to shame your tree, and I'm going to shame you for not having lights up if you celebrate Christmas. Those are my two things. Would you do the Trey Murphy trade we talked about yesterday? 56% of you say no.
I love that somebody was like, who's Trey Murphy?
That's the NBA. I'm going to do it. What the hell?
You're going to do it?
I got no confidence.
Just Sprague in the line.
Not a lot that I like tonight. I thought, do I want to take the under? Do I want to take the Rams?
You sure you don't want to wait for the whole weekend of games?
Back and forth.
I feel like you like other games.
I don't really. I just scroll through the docket. There's not a lot out there that I like.
All right.
I will tonight for Sprague in the line take the Rams plus 1.5.
Wow. Picking the Rams here on the Fan.
How
Home of the
dare I?
Seahawks.
How dare I?
Seattle South.
That's what you get for stealing our jerseys. That'll do it for us, folks. If you missed it, go check the podcast, 1051thefan.com, at 1051thefan on Twitter, at Dirt and Sprague on Twitter. Thanks so much for being a part of our Thursday. Tomorrow, the voice of JMU football is going to join us. That'll be a fun one. See if he took the train out to the game, and we'll fill out our brackets. It'll be a fun little Friday, and we'll react to the game tonight, obviously, and see what happens in Seattle. Thanks for being a part of our show. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 6 a.m. The firm of Harrison Meringue is next. Listen to 105.1 FM, The Fan.